It's Starfire Stadium. It's your home of Seattle Sounders FC2, S2 as we call them, and we're here for another matchup in a beautiful summer afternoon. What started out as an overcast day has become a little bit steamy. Beautiful sunshine out, great day for a soccer match, specifically against a team that the S2 has just been defeated by in the last month, Arizona United SC. It's going to be quite the matchup, and we're excited. I'm Gregor, joined by John Manley. John, how are you today?
Good to be here. A little warm.
Feel a little sweat coming down here?
I don't know if we should complain about the heat playing against a team like Arizona. It's 80-something here, and we're dying, but we'll be okay.
And it kicked off last time for the match in Arizona in Scottsdale. 108 degrees. This is hoodie weather for Arizona.
Ironically enough, something that we know a little bit about.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of us have lived
from living in Arizona at one point in time. So it's kind of interesting that we're going against a team that we sort of familiar with. So
I think I saw one of the guys in the goal. He had mittens on, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's breezy for them. They'll be warm. They'll be bundled up on the bench to stay warm. But yeah, it's a great day, a beautiful day. There's a tournament happening in Starfire Complex all over the place. We've watched like 4 or 5 youth games already today. It's been a great day, and it's only going to get better with this match tonight.
It's interesting that we saw the games and the high quality of performance that we get out of these teams. If anyone is in doubt of how soccer is in the United States, it is alive and strong at Starfire Sports Complex.
You bet.
Here. We're at the main stadium, and John, you have the keys to the match today.
You say keys?
Yeah.
Oh boy. When we were prepping, Greg, you told me to get the 3 Ps to the match.
Why would I tell you that?
It was weird when you said it, but I went with it, and now I feel a little weird.
Okay, well, did you hopefully prepare for them, or?
I mean, I have 3 Ps.
P number 1.
It's not pizza, although that does sound pretty good. No, the first P is payback. Like you said earlier, earlier loss early in the June 20th down at Scottsdale Stadium, a 2-1 loss for the S2. We had a nice early goal from Nick Miele.
The header.
Really, 10, 15 minutes into the match, things were looking well, and then second half, things really kind of fell apart. If we're being honest, a very sloppy and immature second half, to be honest. 2 quick goals in the 65th minute from Top and Long Tan, who is
he's the leading
phenomenal player
for the team.
Yeah, and he is a guy that S2 is going to really have to pay attention to, especially considering that there have been a lot of changes that we're about to talk about. He is going to be a very big key to this match, to control him and to corral him and keep him off the board.
Look from up top. He'll be playing in a 4-4-3.
Right.
He'll be one of the top points of that.
Which will be an interesting thing to see because AZSE, not a high-scoring team.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a very big key to the match. If you can corral him, I feel like if we can corral him, you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a chance for some payback. Things got a little chippy last time. We saw a red card for Duncan McCormick. That's tough. You want to see a guy like that who's in tonight's starting lineup come back and be able to have a big match and have a cooler head in cooler temperatures.
And the McCormick, the red card, really that was your moment where things really took a turn for S2. And the rest of the way, it was a lot of complaining and a lot of bad tackling and bad touches. Just a lack of composure in that second half. And S2 paid the price. And maybe it was the heat, maybe it was the chippiness. I don't know, but the second half just progressively got worse as the match continued.
John.
So hopefully we want to see this match out.
P number 2.
P number 2 is playoffs. We have entered the final third of this season. Both teams, it's kind of a tale of two cities. Both teams are in very different situations. AZ United is in 8th place, on the bubble with 22 points, trying to get into the playoffs. They missed the playoffs last year by a point or two, and they're kind of sitting right in that spot again. So this is a very important part of the season for them. They have to push, and they can't afford to lose any points. They've been in good form as of late. It has to continue. For S2, it's a very different story. We're just 3 points out of the top of the table, in very good position with 29 overall, and we've been great at home, which has been shout-outs to ECS for building
great support,
a great atmosphere. They're ready to go, and S2 responds. 7-1 at home, have to keep it up with a very different and a very interchanging lineup, which leads me to the third P.
How about
3?
That?
Yeah, that's right.
That's great.
I can count. Promotion. We've seen so many S2 players get brought up to the first team and earn their crest. Players like Craven and Charlie Line. Who steps up from the youth squad and on S2 and owns the 2? Who steps into the roles that are left by the players that get called up and makes their impact? A player that I'm looking for today is Olex Anderson. Great player, flashy, fast, and awesome goal celebrations for that. And I look to see what he can do up top now. He has Rossi behind him, and Rossi is such a great playmaker.
Yeah.
It'll be great to see him and Anderson, if they can link up and develop a connection going into the playoffs, because it's going to be important. You don't know if Craven's coming back. He's signed a full contract, so he might be done for the season. Great for him, a little bit rough for S2. You lose your leading scorer as a call-up. You want to see what happens moving forward. Who steps in and takes that role? I look at Alex Anderson. Now, ironically enough, also in the back of the field,
it's a tough
we have
day today,
a huge change, and that is the new goalie, Tyler Miller. Comes in highly regarded, highly touted, second-round draft pick in the 2015 Super Draft, number 33rd pick overall. Decided to start his career in Germany, and has just recently come back to the States. He's trained with the team for a couple weeks, so it's not like he's fresh off a plane into the starting lineup.
Well, then why is he staying at my house?
Well, I don't know. He's trying to save some money. I understand that. The economy's tough. Rents is high in Seattle, of course.
Now, this is following a big call-up for Charlie Lyon, the third-string goalkeeper from the Sounders' first team, who had to travel. An injury to Stefan Fry meant that Troy Perkins got the start last night, an unfortunate 1-0 loss for the Sounders.
Yeah, tough game for Sounders.
But it's a nice chance for a guy from S2 to get up, and he got some experience down here at this level, and now he gets to go up and travel with the team, necessitating getting another goalkeeper to start tonight.
And Tyler Miller looks to be, again, he's a highly touted prospect. He was great in college. Don't know what happened in Germany. I think on TV it looks really great when you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go play for Bayern Munich or, something to that. And then you get there, a Schalke or something like that. And then you get to a lower division German team, and maybe that's not the best atmosphere for a young player trying to develop his skills and get a chance to play against the best players. Sometimes it's better to get game action than to be sitting on the bench in another country, not understanding the language, the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a weird thing.
It's a tough way to start a career
so
professionally.
It's a great chance, and what better place to come into the States and get some ground and gain your footing than to come to Starfire and work for the Sounders organization, which is fantastic.
You see the two teams now stepping onto the field, the crowd starting to get behind it, the hands waving, the clapping, the enthusiasm, even at Starfire Stadium, builds much like a match that you would have at CenturyLink for the Sounders' first team. The guys missing the crest there, the S2, children in the stands being able to cheer on. This is a great opportunity to see some future players right up close and personal.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen it this season. These are the future players for your MLS teams. AZ United doesn't have a pro team yet, which we'll talk about later, but
they do have a link up with FC Dallas and some interesting developments. The two guys that have been on loan from FC Dallas, they have gone back up. Otis Earl and Danny Garcia. Now down to the field for the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly
A great job from Christy Werner from the 4-4 School of Music. Awesome way to get started here at Starfire Stadium. Down on the pitch, everyone getting loosened up and warmed up and ready to go. An advantage for Arizona will be that we will have an advantage for Arizona will be that it will not be as hot as that they're used to playing, while it's still kind of a hot day for us here.
You know, it's a beautiful day, actually. I mean, you know, we're complaining about 80-degree weather, which is shame on us for that. It's a beautiful day, great breeze, and I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a good game. I think S2 is going to be ready to roll, and I can't wait to see how this one shapes out.
A slightly older lineup for Arizona United SC. They bring a little bit more of the veterans out. They have a team that calls on that more because they're not as big of a development team. The link up between FC Dallas and AZ United is not quite as strong. It's not as developed yet. This is a new source of bringing players.
Yeah, and I think you saw that in the first game when they played each other, where AZ kept fighting, kind of kept dug in and fought their way back into the game and eventually winning it, whereas we kind of, S2 started to fall apart a bit, and that lack of composure really, really cost the team.
The flags are waving, the scarves are up, and we are almost ready to get underway here at Starfire Stadium. Love all the scarves in the air, the summer scarves I see around. You also see the founder scarves for everyone who got in early. Some seats with the names printed on it. It's a really cool atmosphere.
Gregor, you also see Siggy Schmidt sitting right in front of us. I don't want to be too loud and get weird, but he's like right in front of us.
He walked by when we were doing the other thing.
It's very distracting.
Thanks. A quick team photo here before we get started. You got your referees out checking nets, getting set up. Today leading the head refs is Farhad Dodko, Joshua Hames, Connor Hazelwood, and Kelsey Harms is our fourth official on the field today. A great day for some USL soccer. We got a chance to see a team that is looking to take themselves into keep their playoff momentum going in the right direction. Another team that is struggling to get out there. John, you were saying an early goal for S2 means that it's even harder for Arizona United today.
Well, again, AZ United has 19 goals on the season. That's not a lot. And in fact, I think that's the lowest goal scoring total of any team that's even sniffing the playoffs at this point. So if you can get a quick early goal and jump out to this lead, especially after essentially blowing a lead last time, so you're going to be on point. You're going to know that you can't score one goal and that's a wrap. You're going to stay. I think because of that first match, they'll be ready to go. They'll be ready to fight, and they can see this thing out. One goal should be enough. 3 or 4 would be even better.
Absolutely. When you put that pressure on, when you get that first goal, we're underway at Starfire Stadium. When you do get that first goal, though, it can really decide a game like today, especially when it gets hot. It gets a little more tiring towards the end, and we're underway here. Giuliano Frano with an early touch after getting it to Tyler Miller, almost by design, to get up and touch and get comfortable with the team. Played up high. You got Pablo Rossi working for it hard right now.
I think I would really look to see what Rossi can do today. He wasn't much of a factor. He hasn't been much of a factor in the last 4 or 5 matches. He scored about 3 matches ago, but he came out in the season like a man possessed. He was so good.
You know, I'd love to see him get a goal today, though, because if you see Pablo Rossi, 5-1 S2 is when he gets a goal. So it's a great sign to know that the team is firing correctly when that happens.
Yeah, so let's get an early goal from Rossi, and then we're done.
A giveaway from McCormick ends up eventually here, and a throw-in for Giuliano Frano from the near side of the field.
Had a chance to practice with him earlier in the week. That was a great time. He's a great sport. Had a lot of fun with him.
The team let us come down here the week, find out how things operate a little bit, see a little bit of practice, and hang out. Rossi with a touch. He gets swarmed there in the middle. It ends up working out though, for the Sounders S2. Kovar here with a chance at the box. A slip. It stays to his favor. An early shot. Right out of the gate.
Great goal.
You love to see a goal coming on, just a pass that fell the right way, a great victory dance, and Olex Anderson puts the Sounders S2 on the board early here. Exactly what we were talking about. The fans already out of their seats. Everyone who's not here in time has already missed a goal, unfortunately.
Great early goal, great composure in the box.
Look at the step overs. You bring it back here across.
A little bit of a slip there, but he can maintain composure. Great drop off. Perfect.
And he's at the right place at the right time. He's not offside, and he makes it count. He's attacking the goal after the play has already started, something that's really important to try and get more points out of it.
Great job.
S2 off to a great start so far. 1-0. Arizona now has it all in front of them. A team that doesn't score a lot of goals will now have to produce something.
Now, and here's the thing, though. It's so early in the match. Dude, you're way out. It's so early in the match. You can't step your foot off the gas yet. No way. It's not time to back up the bus and park it. It is time to keep going.
Yeah, don't think that you have it in the bag just because you have a goal in the first couple of minutes.
If you've learned anything from the first one.
Right. Here they come, play back to the middle. Damian Lowe sends it back to the keeper. He's going to be upset about that. That left him not much time, and this is something that we talked about, that there is a tough communication battle that's going to go on here between your central defenders and your new goalkeeper. Tyler Miller's going to have it all in front of him to try and get the communication going strongly. There you saw a miscommunication between them right
Correct, and that was one of the things we had talked about earlier as well, where a new goalkeeper, I mean, he's not going to have a problem playing goalie.
You don't forget how to do
that.
Right,
that's not going to change. What changes is positioning, knowing what guy is your outlet. Where do your midfield, do we play a high line? Do they like to trap? Is it my job to tell, Miele, you got one on your right, you got one on your left?
Yeah.
Who takes control back there? And again, we talk about Miele. I think he's really going to have to be the captain of this team in a major way today.
You see a lot of chippiness already out there. Pablo Rossi getting some bumps in at the very beginning. Coming out wide here for a throw-in for S2, Giuliano Frano will come out and take this one. The fitness that these guys demonstrate at this level is incredible. Being able to come and see practice is really
Greg,
interesting.
at this level is impressive, but we talked about earlier, we've been here for a couple hours and watching the youth games. The fitness level of these kids are amazing too. It's been such a great day. What a way to top it off, and especially for these young kids that have come and played in these tournaments to now get to come out and watch major soccer. It's great.
I hear you bought them all tickets today. That's really nice of you.
Greg, that is not true, but I will take credit for it.
It's interesting to be able to come out here and do this, John, being just a couple radio guys locally here in Seattle and getting the chance to come out and help spread the word about S2. We'd love for you to help out with that too. Oh, that's a tough tackle. That could require a little
very
time
harsh
here.
Challenge.
Harsh challenge from Granger. He's going to get a talking to here by head referee. Duncan McCormick down on the ground. Backing
that one had to hurt. I think he got clipped right in the back of the leg. Look at it here. Yeah, right through him. I think it looks like the leg that was hanging out got clipped, but I think the leg that took the brunt of the blow was actually the left leg, which was planted, and that's what's scary. When you got a planted leg that gets blasted, there's no give there. That's a dangerous play. I know it's early, but you could hypothetically, you could see that as a yellow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was enough there where it came right through the back of the player. That can always be a problem.
Especially considering the first match being as rough as it was. Maybe a good job by the ref not to get too wrapped up in that too early, but that's a definite, that's your one. I think you would hope, All
right, so stepping up over here over the bar. What have I got in my mind? Aaron Kovar is going to take a swing at it here, stepping up over the ball. Going to give it a big left boot here, try to put it in the box and try and generate something. See Giuliano Frano on a run. The kick is in. It didn't get past the first man, but the first man was a S2 member.
Yeah, I think that was Rossi that was the first one closest to it.
Control from McCormick, too, trying to get it out wide. He can't do it.
And you're always looking for Miele in those set-piece situations because he's such a big, strong player.
And also, he's from New Mexico, and as a fellow New Mexican, I don't got a problem with that.
You're not biased at all, right?
Not at all. A graduate of the University of New Mexico. Both the guys playing in Central Defense today are... No, I lied about that. It's O'Neal Fisher out on the left is actually another UNM guy as well. It's cool because so many of these guys are coming straight out of college, and college systems are producing some great players. You see Andy Craven, who came out of North Carolina, and now he's up with the first team, which is great after watching him and that ponytail work so well.
Well, and I think that's what's kind of great about the USL and having these affiliates to the Major League Soccer teams is now you have a place where players can go after being drafted where 5 years ago, you have to go play overseas to get the best competition. And now you're starting to see with leagues like the MLS and now especially USL, where now you're getting guys, take for example, Tyler Miller went over there and decided that I'm going to get a better opportunity and better learning experience in America. And that is a great, great scenario, and it's only good for the sport.
All it takes is one look around at a city like Seattle to see how much soccer is actually going on. It's easy for us to be kind of overwhelmed by it and be like, this seems like it's is it reached its peak or something, and then you come down.
Yeah, there was a very interesting article at SoundersAtHeart.com earlier this week about has Seattle reached its soccer saturation. Say that 3 times real fast.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's why we're pros. And they had talked about how Sounders attendance had kind of topped off, and you've got the Seattle Reign, and you have S2.
Kovar here out on the left with a chance to cross it into the middle. He's left kind of alone. There's a man in the box. He's going to try and get it in, and it's out for a corner.
Somebody working for a corner right there. And I think, you look at it and you go, well, hey, look, we've got 3 professional teams in town.
Yeah.
And full stands, great atmosphere.
Well, it's great yesterday for the Seattle Reign FC when you see a couple of the big Olympic gold medalists for the ladies coming back.
Right.
When you have a Rapinoe and a Hope Solo there to sign autographs and inspire future generations of people. You've got a Sounders first team that lifted the supporter shield last year. And then you come down here and see the level that the kids are playing at in the leagues. Here we are on the corner
Let's
kick.
look for Miele front post here.
He did what you said, what you asked of him.
He's right
Just couldn't
there.
get his foot on the ball in time. He's a big guy. You want that off his head, perhaps. A little more height to that.
Yeah, but in those scenarios too, even if he doesn't get a foot to it, he brings so many people with him and he shields so many people off that even if you didn't get a touch with it, it's a shame that thing that left, the ball was left right at the front of the box. No one was there to put it away.
Crazy hustle today from Aaron Kovar already. We're watching a homegrown player just really light it up here and do a great job. Off the chest of Olex Anderson there, up front, loses possession, it turns. Arizona's got to try and find a way to get a little composure here if they want to get back into this.
Yeah,
so far the ball's been in the other half a lot.
It would be real nice to kind of step on him here early, get a second goal. Don't make any mistakes like that.
There's another instance where Tyler Miller read the play a lot better there, but it was still kind of left open to find out what was going to happen between Damian Lowe and the Sounders S2 keeper.
Yeah, great instinct there by Miller.
In the backfield there, Granger takes a shot there off of Captain Crunch, Duncan McCormick. He received a red card last match when these two teams played in Arizona. You got to think there's a lot to prove for this guy.
Yeah, 2 yellows too. It wasn't a straight red. It wasn't. I mean, it was for consistent fouling, and that's a shame. And we can't have that this time. And I think already you can tell that S2 looks much more composed and much more aggressive, and that's what you like to see.
I want to see the captain Amadou Sanyang get his start chirping at some of these guys to make sure that they stay the way that he needs them to keep composure, to keep playing. That's a big run right there. Anderson gets a touch. He's taken down. There's no flag though, no call. Just a throw for S2.
Yeah, you would have liked to get the call there just to get the set piece opportunity again. But we'll take a throw.
John, it's really interesting to see these guys at work and just how young some of them are. Giuliano Frano specifically is just a guy that's spending some time living his life as a Canadian here in Seattle, enjoying some Seattle sunshine. Just imagine what you were doing when you were 19, 20 years old. Here they are preparing.
Not a lot of exercise, I can tell you that.
One look at this sweet dad bod, and we can tell who's been out running around and who hasn't. We'll stick to the booth. I can see Twitter right now being like, stick to nothing.
Yeah, right.
Stick to the sandwiches.
Happily.
Turnover at play. Kovar. Rossi with a swing.
Great shot.
Wazinski just does a great job. He's been such a solid piece of the Arizona United SC lineup. He's been their man of the match several times here. Now, that is a stadium that they play in that you've actually spent some time hanging out, at least nearby there, John.
Gregor, if we're being honest, Scottsdale Stadium used to be my backyard.
Really? Like you would, walk
literally,
the dog there
my backyard.
Bring the bags and clean up after it.
Yeah, they let me get free tickets to the baseball games. So it was spring training. It really worked out in our favor. Yeah, actually, I lived in Scottsdale, Arizona, and Scottsdale. I was basically across the street from the stadium. So spring training season when it rolled around was great. I'm bummed that they didn't have the team when I was there. It would have been great.
Oh, there's a chippy foul there. Looks play on though. Nothing called by the ref. He says get on up.
Have you visited the new USLsoccer.com? Get the latest news and live stats, and check out the new social media hub at USLsoccer.com.
I actually have visited that, John.
Good for you.
Yeah, you got to
Good
do
job.
prep sometime, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
We are here in the 12th minute at Starfire Stadium, just south of Seattle, Washington, for everyone that's viewing this outside of the Seattle area, perhaps in Scottsdale, Arizona today, hoping to see their team get a few points on the board here. S2 not having any of it, though. A breakaway here. You got to love seeing Sergio out wide to Duncan McCormick, who crosses it back in, but off of Granger for the corner kick.
Time for another dangerous set piece. We have come out really, really on point so far this match. This is great.
We see McCormick out there just catching his breath a little bit, but at the same time, you coming towards the center of the box here. We got a Nick Miele putting a tall guy on there. Also, Damian Lowe making his way up to try and get some big bodies in the box. This is kind of soccer 101. You drop back some of your other guys to cover for it. With a 1-0 lead, too, there's nothing to suggest that you have to put everyone
sure,
up
and then
there,
you have Rossi at the 18 just waiting for the leftovers.
And again, if we can get Rossi a goal, that's an interesting turn. Some sweet moves in the box, but some better defense doesn't get it past the first man, and it'll be out for an S2 throw.
Front corners, or the front end of the goal, seems to be the approach so far on set pieces, and I like that. I'd like to see a little bit more air under the ball, let Miele get under it, because he's so big and so strong. He can push guys out of the box. A lot of space there. Wow.
Just ties a hit.
Why not? Why not?
Sergio Mota, a Brazilian who was signed midway through the season. He's got those bright boots, wanted to scuff him up a little bit there with a hit from 35.
I like that, though. Terrible mistake by AZ United. The middle of that field was wide open. You almost wish he could have taken 5 or 10 more steps.
Exactly.
I mean, he didn't have to tee that up from that far out. He could have just strolled right up to the 18 and fired it.
Ubered on up there. Got out.
You can't, yeah, right. You can't. Got a Postmates, got some tacos. Yeah, I mean, you can't fault the kid, though, because, I mean, anytime, great job.
Oh, some great hustle. Oh, that produces the second goal. That's his second. He's got the brace on the day. Alex Anderson, number 39, with a sweet karate kick to the corner flag. That's what you like to see. The hugs come in. Some high fives to the fans. This guy is having an excellent day and making a case in front of the first team coach here, Ziggy Schmidt, in attendance tonight, saying, hey, coach, I got some wheels.
Guess what I can do? Look what I can do.
You're missing a couple awesome starters. Guess who can come out there and help deliver?
Most impressive, though, if you look here at the replay, is the strength it takes to get through that last defender. Just takes the ball right off of him.
Right through Joey Dillon. Joey Dillon with a big grab at the jersey there. That could have gone anyway regardless.
And to have the balance to get a good foot to that ball while you're shouldering up with another guy.
What a
great
blast.
job.
He had the game winner earlier this season against Oklahoma City Energy, and it's really just developed from there.
Yeah, I need to see him get the hat trick just for the celebration.
Team goal scored by number 39, Alex!
I love the crowd.
Oh, yeah!
I love our announcer, Hugo.
Hugo's doing a great job calling it out, and he's multilingual as well, so you get all the different aspects of it covered, which is fun. No foul there called by the referee.
Also brought us tacos for dinner, so that was great.
Shout-outs to tacos.
Sup, tacos.
We had a really good chance after our last time that we broadcast here to, there's a big run down the side. Malky has control here for Arizona United SC. Good defense played. Damian Lowe stepping up and putting a foot on it.
They did this a lot in the last match against us as well. The crossing passes, and they really worked. The crossing fields really, really worked well for them, especially in the second half. So it's something we should, S2 needs to be very wary of, and Miller especially. That's going to be an opportunity for him where he's got to call those out.
What easy exchange between players there after taking it off of the feet of Long Tan. We have a big run down the left side. Things slow down a little bit. Reset. Sergio takes a look. Captain Sanyang with a pass out to Frano. Frano down the side. Space for days. No one's stepping up on him. No one's pressing S2, and they're letting them have their way. Oh, the offside flag goes up. Rossi will not get that shot to count.
Great idea, though.
Wazinski is got his hands full in the back today. A real tall keeper. He's done great for the team in helping them try and get into the playoffs here. That was a little bit forward of the 6-yard box there, I thought, but okay.
It's always nice to see the opponent goalie getting peppered 15 minutes into a match.
Shout-outs to Pepper.
What's up, dummy?
Crossfield action is easy for Giuliano Frano to replay some defense against Malky here out on the near side of the pitch.
And I continue to say the best defense is a good offense, and there's no need to slow down yet. Again, we're still only 15 minutes into this match.
Scott Morrison, one of their older players, crosses it across field. That's what you would do when you cross something. It would go across field.
Right.
A real hot one there.
It's really good deep analysis there, Greg.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have Logan Morrison on the Seattle Mariners. I like to call this guy ScoMo, Scott Morrison for the Arizona United SC.
I think that plays.
Resetting to the back here is Arizona. Joey Dillon across.
Make him work. Make him keep crossing the ball. Switching fields. Switching fields on their end of the field isn't going to hurt anybody.
Yeah,
so that's
possession is great when you have it in the opponent's end.
Right. And in the second half of the first match,
Tan is dangerous. It's across the top, but it's an offside flag is called, and the whistle's blown.
In the second half of the first match, that was a big thing that AZ United spent the bulk of the second half on S2's side of the field and never gave S2 a chance to get out and break out, which, as you can see, very dangerous on the counters. And they did a great job of just stifling all of that in the second half of the first match. Let's see if we can keep this going our way for another 75 minutes or so.
Dennis Chen looked like he was going to take the throw in, but instead he's going to let it be handled elsewhere. Put 3 strikers up forward. They're doing a 4-3-3 today. A team that doesn't score a ton of goals, running with 3 guys up front is an interesting choice. Maybe it's to try and generate a little bit. They do this some other times, though, too.
Well, I think you have to.
Big throw. That's a big, big throw. Easily handled by the height and head of Damian Lowe. Pushing up. They're trying to push up. He's trying to corral everyone to move forward. Play a high line here against.
Yeah, you can still play the high line. There's still plenty of time.
Chin with a touch, some fancy footwork with those fancy shoes. Tries to put it through there to top. Easily handled, though. S2 with the goal kick. Great stuff. Big cheers from the fans watching that are smart fans that know how to watch a little bit of smart defense there.
Yeah, good job. I mean, it got a little bit dicey towards the end. Maybe you would have rather he played that first touch, maybe back out to the out wide, but hey. End of the day, no damage.
That's one of the first times that you see a guy like Dennis Chen there turning on the magic a little bit, doing a little dancing there, and giving a hard time to the defense there on the far side of the pitch.
Well, you're down 2 goals. You better start doing something.
God, I forgot it was 2 already.
2 all, yeah.
Man.
You know who hasn't forgot this 2-0?
The Arizona fans.
Yeah, and Alex Anderson.
We come out wide here. Malky tries to make something happen. That is a throw going Arizona's way.
Again, you just like to keep them, you know, if you keep them out here, you're in good shape. I'd like to see them push back even further if you can. But at the same time, there's no reason to be too aggressive up top and leave yourself vulnerable in the back, especially, again, with a brand new keeper in the net.
The more time that these guys can get together practicing and playing, the better that they will be in defense. Nick Miele's been out there all season, has been solid. He's done a great job specifically at home. The team's 7-1 now playing at Starfire Sports Complex. Love to see an early 2-goal lead. Now, you were talking about the first one comes real early, and you can't let up because of that. The second one, that's a great first-half insurance goal.
Yeah, but as they say, a 2-0 lead is the worst lead in football, you know?
So you'd like to see them hold through the
the
first half. A big boot down the left-hand side.
The thought's there, though. I mean, there's so much. You see it in a lot of pockets of a lot of space.
O'Neal Fisher just couldn't get there quite in time. A throw for Arizona United.
Yeah, big gaps in space for S2 to exploit, and hey, so far we're 2 for 2.
Changing fields here to Duncan McCormick, who leaves it a little short there. Frano with more to do, and just can't quite get the pass through. Handled by Granger, back to Wazinski. Wazinski, a great play in Scrabble, if you can get that done.
And if you can get the triple word point, you're done. It's over.
That's like a 380 point.
Yeah.
Get on Words with Friends and try and do that.
I don't know if they have walk-offs in Scrabble, but I think if you hit that, you
just drop your phone and place it to you and you walk away to the phone store.
Why do you go?
Look at that. Lowe coming through, easily making an awesome play to start things out. He's going to keep going. He's wide open, calling for the ball. He's not the guy necessarily known for the magic feet, but instead he has it lined up and just a big move towards the goal. That's great stuff to see. Wazinski never worried about that, but at the same time, making that defense sweat. They're starting to yell at each other. You see the defenders being upset.
You know, if it's 0-0, you hope he stops here and starts looking for someone to get the ball to. But up 2-0, 25 yards out with the defender, have it. Why not have it?
Exactly.
It's a beautiful day. Take a shot. Why not?
Here we are in the 21st minute of a very young game so far. 2-0 lead. Sounders S2 versus Arizona United SC. It's crazy all the different environments you have to play through in Seattle. It's been a crazy warm summer up here. We got a little bit of rain today. It makes it extra muggy today, something we're not used to. Last game we were here was freezing cold. You got the windows up. You're like, how are these guys down there playing? You really play through the seasons in this. They're really earning it today, those paychecks, because of the heat and the sweatiness. Big boot from Tyler Miller there.
Yeah, but I think it's almost easier to play in the heat than it is the cold because your muscles are warm, and even if you're sitting on the bench, you're still not. Well, I mean, that's got to be something.
I believe that was judo, but I'm not. There's a big boot over the top.
Is that a 2-point takedown, possibly?
From top, perhaps?
There you go.
You see a little mistake there in the 18-yard box. Maybe hamming it up a little bit for try and get a foul called. The Sounders not bursting down with the counter, but they do have even numbers here.
Again, look at the space here.
Arizona keeps their shape. Out wide to Duncan McCormick, who sends the cross in off of the face of Granger. He seems unfazed.
It's one of those things where I think I would like to see a little bit more of. They do this all season where sometimes they get a little too cross-happy.
Okay.
And it's right away. It's instead of that possibly take control of the ball there. Good touch. Good thought. More of that, less of fired out to McCormick or early in the season Garza, and they just pop it.
I'm a big fan of the cross from out wide, John. I'm a big fan if you got a holding forward that can do that.
Sure.
Craven's real good at that. So that they're adding, he's real strong guy able to do that. So in the first team, he'll be a real asset. Some quick thinking and passing going on.
Sure.
Across the field, unfortunately, to
have it.
Oh, what a touch.
Do we get another one? Here's another one. Oh.
Just barely missing on his hat trick in the first half. First half hat trick. A big old boot, but he's called offside. That'll be the end of that sequence there.
S2 looking really dangerous on the last third of the field. Really dangerous.
That's going to be offside called here. We'll have a free kick.
Good creative play in the final third of the field. You like to see that.
So this guy, Carl Wazinski, came over from Orlando FC, a 27-year-old, 6'5". Love that stat. I'm in part of that club as well. Orlando FC actually came up into the MLS this year. I don't know if that leaves him out of a job or if that means that and he comes to Arizona or not.
Well, he's earned his paycheck, whatever it is today. That's for sure.
Yeah, keeping him busy is S2.
Yeah, he's going to need one of them cold ice baths after this. He has taken an absolute beating so far, and we're only 23 minutes into the match.
Great hustle from Sergio to strip the ball away there from top. Oh, man. See Dennis Chen jumping around after getting a cleat to the foot, perhaps. No foul called. Little hold-up play here. Resetting.
Might as well. Why not?
Sam Young beats two guys. Reset.
Sanyang doesn't get the credit he deserves because he's not the flashiest player, but he's much like for the Sounders. He's like a Ozzy Alonso type, where just real steady, strong, and composed in the middle.
We got Samyang down here. That's going to be concerning the Sounders S2 captain. Referee called the stoppage to play here. Nick Mealy comes to check it out.
Which is one of those injuries where it's not, you don't think it's going to be life-threatening, but boy, does it hurt.
Oof.
Nice and painful. Yeah.
Lots of times you just get a kick in the back of the leg. I mean, if I did that to you right now, it would be...
We would be fighting in the booth.
Should we try it?
No, let's just... You stay over there, I'll stay over here.
Okay.
I have my card ready.
That's just a card with highlighted yellow with your highlighter.
Yeah.
Trainer comes to check out what looks like an ankle injury here, perhaps, or maybe a leg sprain in the lower leg area there. It was two different members of Arizona United coming in at the same time as Samyang cleared. He gets up, gets a nice little applause from the crowd.
And yeah, it's just one of those things where you get stepped on. Give me a second. It hurts for a minute. You'll be fine. He'll be back.
Bummed to see a guy like Sam Garza not in the lineup today. Not in the 18 today. We got to see him train a little bit, goof off, have a lot of fun, but saw some jerseys out here there's some Sam Garza fans out here in attendance today, which I love to see.
Yeah, it's not like the atmosphere here is so good and it's so pro, where you don't feel like it's a minor league crowd and it's like a couple of people from Tukwila that are in the area coming out. ECS shows up and they've got their flags.
I mean, I'm seeing an Alonso jersey, the aforementioned Alonso out here. We got some Casey Kellers, some Lundbergs back. If you're a real Sounders fan from the beginning of the MLS era, there you had him in attendance as well.
I need to get a retro Roger Levesque jersey. That's my goal before the end of the season.
I think that could be done. We know a guy who prints shirts. Shout outs to Keith.
Real cool Keith.
He's a real cool Keith, that one. Little miscontrol there off of the chest of Rob Valentino, playing center back to Dave, back to Carl Wazinski. No big deal. Little reset here for Arizona. Scott Morrison, Scomo in the middle of the field, has been real frustrated with a lot of his team. We can see out the window here that he's gesturing and wavering and hollering at some guys, trying to get some forward play done here to get things done up top so the defense in the midfield doesn't keep getting burned. It really has been so far a big victory in the midfield for S2.
Yeah, it's been, all Sounders to this point. And, there's been a few, I can think of one legitimate tough situation for S2's defense. But, and you'll take that,
Looks like Daniel Altunia has left a foot in there on Samyang. He's getting beat up today. That's part of that role that you were talking about, though. The kind of one of these unsung heroes where you got to control the midfield and win it for the team. You end up getting kicked a lot, I think, as a result of that when you have to play that tough role.
Yeah, but it's such a valuable position. You look at players like Ozzy Alonso or hey, look, Javi Alonso is the type of player on the national on the big scale where they're not making the highlight reels.
And we know you're a Liverpool fan. Watch out when MLS side LA Galaxy now have their Steven Gerrard, who's going to ultimately play that role, slowing down in age, but not an ability to hold down the midfield.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to see. I mean, it's going to be painful as a Liverpool supporter to see him wearing. Well, it's double painful.
That one will go down as an embarrassing moment. The crowd gets a good guffaw at the unfortunate missed header there by Longtan. Just remember, though, he's the leading scorer. An errant ball. Yeah, but what
a great header by Fisher to play defense on the ground. That was amazing.
That was one of those right place, wrong time type moments, I think, John.
I'm going the opposite with that. I'm saying that was a great play. Phenomenal positioning to get on the ground, fake like you're out of the play, and then make it. It's amazing. O'Neal Fisher, great job. Oh, what I was saying about Gerrard, though, it's a double painful scenario for us here in Seattle as a Liverpool fan. Bad enough he's no longer on Liverpool, but now he plays for LA too. It's like, oh man, like, I can't even root for him now. This is terrible.
I mean, you still will.
I mean, I'm showing up to the match with my Sounders kit and my Liverpool scarf. That
that's not good.
Saying.
Anderson goes down, hands waving in the air.
Right away.
He looks like he's hurt. A guy with 2 goals on the day, playing it out wide. S2 keeps going.
This does not look good.
I don't think they have an idea that he's down and hurt. The trainer already up on the side of the field, and he's running over, kicking it out, and taking a minute here. Whew.
That looked like one of those non-contact injuries as well, so he's really nervous about this, and he went down immediately and was calling for a sub.
Yeah, on that spin there, just a move like that is something that you do not want to see from a player.
Anytime you see a player go down, I don't think he was touched, and that's when you get real scared. Grabbing back by his Achilles, that's a terrible sign. Hopefully, I mean, maybe there was contact. Maybe he just got kicked and, scuffed up on the turf, but never like to see that. Let's take a little replay here and see if there was contact.
Oh, he just rolled his ankle there a little bit, it looked like. No, it was the other leg.
Yeah, it's tough to say what happened there.
I can't,
One thing is for sure, he is in pain.
Yeah, he is still hurt.
He's in serious pain.
One more look here. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on.
I mean, it looks like he gets nicked there, but that's not when he goes down. Maybe it was right there. There it is.
Oh,
okay,
he does take the hit.
There
it looks like his ankle came out sideways. That is an ugly look.
Clearly a red card. Ref missed that one.
God, I hope they have enough magic spray for a wizard out there to try and get this fixed up.
Have you ever figured out what's in there?
It's wizard juice.
I got to get a can of that.
Yeah, you have to climb to a really tall mountain to get it, though.
I mean, can I just use the Amazon?
Do you have a Pegasus?
I'm not saying I don't.
Okay, well, if you have a Pegasus, they know how to get there.
I traded it for a DeLorean. I forgot. Become a fan of USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. USL on Facebook.
We still have Alex Anderson down.
Are they just leaving him out there to dry? That's
on the far sideline. They're bringing
harsh.
out looks like they got the stretcher that they're coming out with here. This could be serious business.
Well, as you saw, it was a rough. And anytime you roll your ankle, you roll the outside of it. That's painful.
So the last time we saw this, John, I don't know if you remember this or not. It was the first team we were here. It was not a good night against a team that shall not be named, the U.S. Open Cup, and we saw Obafemi Martins have the same kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah, that is the game we will not talk about as fans of Seattle soccer. That was the game that
was a dark spot. He is indeed being carried off. This is a real bad sign.
I mean, on the upside, that game made it to SportsCenter.
A big round of applause coming from the Seattle faithful here.
Just a shame. 2 great goals early on.
No one likes to see him being carted off to the opposite side of the field. That is towards the tunnel here on the near side, and it's a bad look here. They're setting it down. Maybe he's going to be able to get up, and how they're bringing out the poor guy.
To have a sub happening already, yeah, he's going to be done for the day.
Interesting to see if maybe you go a little defensive on a substitute here.
Why not slip to a 4-5-1?
Long ball played down right now, a man advantage for Arizona. We've got a substitute coming on here.
trying to see who that is.
Terrible eyesight really pays off right
Now
now.
coming in for S2 to earn his
Looks like Aaron Long is coming on.
25, Aaron Long.
Big round of applause for Aaron Long, who probably got to come out a little bit earlier than he would have expected under not great circumstances.
And Long is more of a defensive player, so you're right, Greg. That was a defense for offense. Fortunately for S2, up 2 goals. I think it's the right move. Again, it's a lot of game left, but if you're forced to make that early substitution, up 2 goals, I think you absolutely play defense.
A big cross through the middle here. Samyang playing up front now. There could be a tactical shift there. That's a little bit of a battle arena moment there.
Well, yeah, because now the interesting thing is who really does go play up top now, because Rossi's not a true striker either.
No call there as the crowd gets a little bit frustrated with Duncan McCormick's feet being taken out from underneath him. The first touch from Long is one with an elbow to his back as well. Another foul here. Looks like Arizona's losing its composure a little bit. A yellow card is going to be issued here in the 33rd minute to number 12, Joey Dillon.
Well, this is what started to happen last time against, it was in AZ's favor the last game, but now it's a little bit different, and they're starting to show, losing their composure a little bit as well.
Big 2 down, and this conditions could be a little tough as well.
Joey Dillon.
Boy, it would be nice to see one more here and salt this thing away.
Definitely what you don't want to do is give up a goal between now and halftime. You want to go in with a 2-0 lead and maybe be able to bring out a couple more sets of fresh legs and try and tie this thing down.
Gregor, that's a great point.
So we'll look here now to see after the set piece where the shift is kind of put, who's going to play where now in this newly reorganized. Oh, and Alex Anderson has been carted off the field, towel overhead. A real sad figure there. That's not a good way to go for this match. A big boot just straight at the goal. You love to see Rossi just have
Rossi's really
another
going for it
shot
today.
here.
I like that.
Goalkeeper Wazinski decides not to try and go wild on the counter and try and reset here from the back.
Yeah, and I think now with a lack of a true top striker, you're going to see a lot more of maybe a little bit more cheekiness in the passing in the box instead, or long shots from the outside, as opposed to as many through balls or things of that sort. I think they'll try to get. I think they'll be content with a 2-goal lead. They're not going to have that point man as much as they're used to. I think they'll be content to just work the ball down the pitch.
And you don't really have that big striker on the. I guess you have Tongavula that's on the bench that I haven't seen enough of him yet to understand exactly how he can change a game. It's off Dennis Chin here on the side and a S2 throw in, but you don't really have that. You don't have the presence that you want from a Darwin Jones right now to play.
You did have a bunch of striking options until Oba, Femi Martins, and Dempsey got hurt / suspended on the Sounders, and they've all been called up now, which is great to see. And a testament to S2 is how good they've done at developing their players. Where to start the season, who knew who Andy Craven was?
Absolutely, yeah. We've developed some really great names here, and now to see them get some time in the first team is fantastic. What a touch by Sergio Mota. Duncan McCormick now starting to mouth off a little bit. He has had enough of being. He's just been told that he's mouthed off one too many times. That's the last time he's going to get before he gets a card for dissent. And at the same time, Granger, who's had a couple big fouls on McCormick, he has now been issued a yellow card here in the 36th minute.
Those guys just must not like each other at all, because this is exactly what happened in the first matchup as well. Those two went out at the entire game.
You develop a little bit of history sometimes there, John.
Sure, and it's nice to see us getting the better of it for once. Or at least this time, I should say. Let's see if we get one more before the half here.
You got a chance here with Kovar standing over the ball. He's going to give it a big cultured left foot. Talked to Ross Fletcher. He told us we were almost out of using his trademark saying. There it is.
You got it. Great job. Great job.
You'll have to see it come off. And was that the head of Rossi or was it Long? It might have been Long coming there. It was the substitute, Aaron Long. We say we're going to go defensively, and it comes right off the head of Long, taking S2 into the lead, 3-0 before half. The 37th minute of the game has proven to be a very significant one for the effort of Arizona United SC, who have all of it now to try and get back into it.
What a fantastic first half, and a great corner. The angle that we're sitting at, that was perfect, because you could see that whole play develop. You saw the ball curl, and you're looking from our vantage point going, that's right where it wants. It's right where you want it.
And that was kind of like a helper in there, because he had a big left-footed boot, so it was hooking in there towards the goal, and just aided on a little redirection there.
Yeah, and keeper had no chance. Keeper did everything he could. If you look here, keeper did everything he could to get to this, but there's no chance. No chance.
Look at that. He just redirects, and there's nothing to keep. Yeah, the keeper's going the wrong direction. Nothing to do.
There's nothing you can do in that scenario.
The crowd goes crazy, and now a 3-0 lead for S2. It means that Arizona just has a lot to do. It's really tough, specifically after just getting kind of pushed out of the playoff spaces right now. They need all the points they can get, and unfortunately have it all to do in the second half. First half, even. We get stuff 60 more, almost 50 minutes of play left here.
Yeah, I think at this point, honestly, if you're both teams, you're content seeing this out, but we might as well just keep going here, because we are on fire. I mean, Rossi's still going to get one. He's on the doorstep this entire match. He's going for one today.
And now he's going to be hungry.
Arizona player number 6, Brock Ranger.
Big ball over the top there. Captain Samyang.
I mean, what a great way to introduce Miller into this team, where he has really faced no challenges up to this point at all, which is great. And now he's got a cushion where if he does make a, first match mistake, he'll be in good shape.
Just controlling the midfield and able to just run with it here in the Arizona half. There's going to have to be a real talking to by Coach Michael Della Russo at halftime to be able to get this team back in it and firing again. Now, I'm an Arsenal fan, John.
I'm sorry about that, Greg.
I have seen a 4-0 lead evaporate before at the hands of Newcastle. It was a tragic event and terrible to see.
Now, and I'm a Liverpool fan, so I've seen a 3-0 deficit turn into a greatest victory of all time for my team. So I completely understand and see where you're going with this. So continue, please.
Yeah, so you'd like to see that whatever happens at halftime here, that Coach Ezra Hendrickson tells the S2 guys that they have to keep it together, keep your shape, keep playing hard, don't let it slip up like you saw last time out, where they gave up a couple goals in the second half. A great cushion that we have now here with a 3-0 lead, but still, you got to make sure that you don't let something silly happen.
Yeah, and again, S2 has a bad habit of if they give up one, they give up a bunch.
Yeah, unfortunately, they become a little bit leaky. I believe that they're one of the top. They're the team that has given up the most goals this season, unfortunately, in the USL. This is certainly not going to happen. Now, S2 have also given up their fair number of goals. It's just that they've scored a bunch to be able to stay in it.
I mean, you'd like to say that it's exciting, but honestly, if you look at the stats without looking at the matches, you just go, oh, they've scored, 36 goals, but they've given up 28 or whatever it is. And you go, wow, they must have some really exciting matches. The real problem is it usually is like lopsided one way or the other. You don't see S2 in a 4-3 match or a 3-2 match. It's
There'd be some big wins where you see a Darwin Jones
yeah,
hat-trick or something.
5-1 loss or a 4-0 win 3 weeks in a row or something to that effect.
Now, John, can I ask you a question?
You can ask me a question, Greg.
What do you think about these run of shutouts that the S2 has been able to perform here?
I'm pretty down with getting a fourth right here. That sounds like a pretty good idea to me.
Some real good work in the last several matches. We've seen a lot of shutouts by the defense, and specifically previously Charlie Lyon and the defense of guys like Nick Mealy being able to convert. When there's a win, it's a shutout.
Well, and you look back when they played Tulsa, S2 got destroyed 5-1. So if you look at that, ever since that 5-1 loss, S2 is really, maybe it's one of those, tough losses where you get a chance to regroup and rebuild and dig in and get it together and go, okay, enough of this. We're not doing that again, because they've been very good and very stingy ever since.
There's Mata making some great 1-2 play with Duncan McCormick. McCormick trying to get in, and a nice, strong body keeps Duncan McCormick from being able to play that. Joey Dillon, McCormick exchanging a handshake there. It's all good, dog. I think that's what they say.
Big thanks to Bootstrapper Studios for today's broadcast. Live streaming sports and events of all sizes. Visit them at bootstrapperstudios.com. That's bootstrapperstudios.com.
And we're not just saying that because they're making us say it, John, right? It's a real pleasure here, right, to work with them.
Absolutely.
All of those guys in the other room right now listening to us.
You better say that.
Suddenly my microphone has been cut. Brian, please don't cut my microphone. Everyone on Twitter right now, cut his microphone. A touch from Aaron Long now has come on and made a difference so far in this match today. Damian Lowe brings it over to Nick Miele. Shout-outs to UNM, go Lobos.
What's up, Demi?
O'Neal Fisher out wide, another Lobo. He's going to bring it in here to the middle. Kovar with a little 1-2.
Right
an
by
easy
him
chance
again.
for a
Great
center.
job. Finish.
This is 4-0. Wazinski just gets another sweet touch on it there. The fancy
Ross is gonna
footwork.
do something.
Oh my
saw it
God, the
coming.
bicycle kick, double bicycle kick. Can't get anything done, but you got a 3-0 lead. You get a chance to try something magical. The crowd is going crazy for that. John's mouth is wide open, and he is.
Tip your cap. Wow.
You rarely see the double bicycle. I wonder how the coach thinks about that. There's probably an opportunity.
I don't even think you can do that. You can't do that on FIFA, let alone in real life. That was incredible. The funny part, though, was could you not tell Rossi was going to do that for about 5 or 6 seconds before he finally did it? Like,
no one's gonna challenge him. Might as well.
Well, I mean, he starts juggling the ball to himself, and he's like, he's going to try to do something here.
Amadou Sanyang just gets right in the right place to get that ball away, proving that he's the midfield captain there and the captain of the team, both. ScoMo here with a touch. Scott Morrison.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, and I've been kind of trying to pay attention ever since. And yeah, he's not having a good time today.
Yeah, he's real frustrated out there. He's one of the older guys, and so he knows what it takes to win. But unfortunately, he's just not seeing his team do what he needs them to do. A little friendly conversation with Sergio in the middle of the field there. The two of them running back and forth together. Now we're out wide here, Arizona United. We're in the 44th minute, almost done with the first half here. Sounders S2 3, Arizona United SC 0, unfortunately. A team talk that could be very inspired. You'd need a really good censor button, I think, if you were going to be in that locker room at halftime.
Yeah, I think there'll be a pretty serious talking to. Because the thing is, too, it wasn't like, it's not, we gave up one legitimate goal and 2 bad breaks. I mean, it's been a thorough dominating performance so far by S2.
And you see it in the midfield all over. The Arizona United guys just haven't been able to step up to S2 players and get the ball away. Right there, Scott Morrison trying to get that done. Easily cleared back and then reset.
First to every ball, and again, plenty of space.
Real heads up. They got a lot of time to take a look. Lots of sharp passing.
Which has been a calling card of S2 for most of the season too, which is why it's so disappointing and frustrating when they have an off day.
Scott Morrison comes through, then additionally gets a little knock on Amadou Sanyang after the fact. Cool-headed Captain Sanyang stays down, doesn't do anything crazy. Ref makes the whistle. Here's another look.
Yeah, it just goes right through him. I mean, clearly a foul, and you would say he's fortunate not to get a card there.
In the pre-match there, we said you couldn't sweep the leg. No Karate Kid, okay? I don't think Scott Morrison got that memo on that.
I said, what did I say?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, come on. I think you need to give a team talk before there.
Yeah, I'll continue to, maybe at the half I'll sneak down there.
Here's Tyler Miller, who hasn't had a whole lot to do today except for work out some communication with 2 different players. That ball indeed went out here over the near touchline.
I think we've worked a little bit harder than he has so far in this first 45 minutes.
I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It looks like we're going to have about 4 minutes of stoppage time. See it out. Let's take it to half.
Assistant referee Kelsey Harms on the far side here, holding up the sign right now, signaling 4 minutes of stoppage time. I bet you're looking over there next to her red jersey, the ref's jersey, is a couple big things of water. I bet you if you're a player out there running right now, you want that cooler to be as close to you as possible.
Well, I can tell you that the water is going to taste a lot better in our locker room than AZ United's, that's for sure.
Hear the drums fire up from the ECS supporters that are out today. You got the flags waving the whole game. It's so much fun to be part of that, to see that commitment to it, to see the fun that they get from traveling. A huge contingent last night for the first team in Chicago, great city to go visit in the summer. But at the same time, great to see so many people willing to travel. And then they still come for USL action here, which has been superb, especially for the Sounders fans, seeing some real high quality play. We saw some kids playing at the 14, 15-year-old level, and they were incredible, but then you're reminded just how good these pros are.
Yeah, Greg, I saw a goal earlier that I'm telling you.
Oh, Rossi cheeky with a foot there left in. If he can get through that, he wants that extra touch back there.
I mean, he's getting one today, I'm telling you. It's happening. And if he doesn't, he's going to die trying. He's going to end up with 12 shots.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. We just threw a minute here of stoppage time of the 4 down, trying to do something here through the center. Tyler Miller will actually have a touch there and a kick like a soccer player that can't use his hands and his mittens.
It's frowned upon outside of the 18-yard box, Greg.
He likes a challenge. That guy, his rent is due at my house now. He's new to the team. This is his first start. Just announced on Thursday that he was re-signed to the team, and so
you don't take euros, I hear.
I don't, and he hasn't converted them over.
That's a problem for him.
I do take Deutschmarks for some reason, though, which is an outdated currency.
They gone.
They gone.
They gone.
Nice little touch there from Frano, just trying to see this half out.
Yeah, remember, if someone tries to pay you in Deutschmarks, it's a trap.
I see what you've done there.
Thank you.
How about that Star Wars trailer that ran, eh?
I mean, I feel like second half we're going to have some time killing to do, so we might want to get into that in a little bit, because boy, does it look good.
I also have to talk to you about Batman versus Superman. Boy, was I wrong. A
that?
touchdown from
Amazing.
Duncan McCormick, outdone by Granger, who's had a tough first half here, and free kick now for Arizona United. Look at that, breaking it up easily. The passing has not been strong for Arizona, unfortunately, and that's when you start to see score lines this way, too. McMealy runs it out. He is not able to get the job done across to the middle. Damian Lowe covering, no problem for the big central defender.
And again, another great job, a man right on tan, which is clearly their... I mean, if we're being honest, that's their one option. And we've had a man on him the entire match. He has had no room to breathe. To be fair, he hasn't had much service either.
The time that they spent on the ball attacking is so limited compared to how much time they're providing S2 in the opposite side of the field. We're going out to a corner kick here for ScoMo. Scott Morrison's going to have a big swing at this. Hold on, I'm trying to get my feet. He's a left-footed swing at this. Hand up, hand down, and the boot. Oh, that is a ping-ponging around through there like a... What do you call the machines where you...
A pinball machine?
Pinball machine with the hands and the ding, 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 ding.
And the flippers and the...
Are we talking about dolphin sounds? I love flippers. Shout out to Dolphin Tail.
Are we going to go to the pinball museum after this, you think?
Dude.
Let's do it.
I could do it. International District?
You got it.
Is? Yeah.
Yep.
I see Obafemi Martin's walking off here off the side. Wait, it's just a guy in a jersey. I'm sorry. We're almost done with stoppage time here. Just another 15, 20 seconds left to go. Moto with a touch out here wide to Duncan McCormick. He's going to run it down, try and keep it in play, maybe get one more chance out of this. A touch for Rossi, who called for it. Oh, and Giuliano Frano just can't keep that run going. A little miscommunication there. And Carl Wazinski gathers that up for a big boot. I expect to see the ref's whistle go at any moment. Now one more try here down the side. Nick Mealy's head provides perfect service for that to keep the defense strong. And again, you're back into Arizona's half of the field now.
Just done a superb job of pushing them back this entire first half. Great first 45 minutes of action for S2.
We had about 4 seconds worth of B in the studio here just a minute ago, which is terrifying. At the end of the first half here, we're looking at Sounders S2, 3, Arizona United SC with 0. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Does your child want to take their game to the next level? Enroll them in a Sounders FC summer camp. With a wide variety of camps available for ages 4 to 18 across Washington, Sounders FC camp system provides opportunities for boys and girls of all skill levels to develop their game, interact with new friends, and become a deeper part of Sounders FC. Campers will be able to improve their technique in a fun environment that promotes confidence and learning. They'll even get the chance to meet and learn from Sounders FC players. Sign up today at soundersfc.com/camps.
The beautiful game. It's played and loved all over the world. But here in Seattle, we think the game's a little more beautiful and green. Young and old, we were all born in '74. Our passion has no age. A city constantly striving. It's going to take all of us to reach the top. Most people would say 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Not us. We're not just here to win. We're here to make history. We'll give you everything we have. You give us your full 90.
I think being a Sounder is, having a lot of pride in what you do. There's a lot of things that are important. When I think of being a Sounder, first of all is the team, itself. I think I take a lot of pride in being, on this team for 7 years now. Growing up, I played for one club team, went to school for all 4 years at one college, and then, something that was out of my hands in the expansion draft, not by choice, was leaving Columbus, and now I'm here. So, I think throughout my whole career, I've always been a one-team kind of guy, through ups and downs, whatever it is. Not searching for the next best thing, and that's meant a lot to me. It instills a lot of pride, especially being here from day one. And I think for Ziggy and I, it's mutual respect at this point, which is something that you gain over time. Wasn't there in the beginning. I think with him, it's something that you have to earn, and that's fair enough. If I was a head coach, I'd want my guys to earn the respect of me, but also vice versa. And I think that's something that he's taken to heart. And I think he has my best interests as well, as well as a team. I can't say enough. I think without him, I'm probably not the player I am today. I think about being here from day one is all the relationships that I've gotten to develop over the past couple of years. Whether that's with staff, players, living in one location, for the past 7 years, really built a nice community. So being here all that time, I've seen a lot of turnover, especially players. There's only 4 of us remaining, and obviously Ziggy and Schmetz and a bit of the coaching staff. But other than that, it's ever evolving thing, but, always having that sense of pride in being here since day one, is something that I hold pretty dear to my heart.
See you in Seattle.
Manchester United in the red uniforms.
I'll be there.
Welcome to Seattle, the true soccer city. This is the one.
I'll be there.
We're all part of history today in front of this record crowd. Manchester United gets the win. Now let's go back to our guys. It's Rooney. That's how you do it.
I'll be there.
Sensational goal. Greatest soccer goal I've ever seen.
I'll be there.
Back here at Starfire Stadium at the Starfire Sports Complex, Tukwila, Washington, Sounders S2 should be called S3 today. 3-0 against Arizona United SC. After one half of play, the first 45 is done. We're looking at a second 45 here that could be hopefully equally as exciting.
Well, pretty good first half if you're S2, I would say. Anytime you can walk into the locker room up 3 goals, that's a win for you.
But at the same time, when you say you get a win, you have 2 goals from Olex Anderson, and then you end up with an injury to the same player. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. We actually have the opportunity to take a look at some of the first half action and see just what happened for Seattle Sounders SC2.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get off to a start like they did, 2 minutes into the match, great moving here.
Kovar with some dancing, some dance magic, some moves.
Yeah, to stay composed right there, and then the drop off. I mean, perfect.
Goal
Easy
number
as
1 scored simply by Olex Anderson. You love to see him. He's got a sense for the goal. He has a real killer instinct when it comes to that.
And it really set the tone for the match because, a few minutes later, we're right back on net.
Why not have a hit? Why not have a hit from Pablo Rossi there to try and get one to take the Sounders to 2?
Well, and he certainly seems to be in the mood to try to score today. I mean, he's had quite a few shots. Unfortunately, none as on point as
Olex Anderson gets a second go on goal here and makes it happen, taking it to 2-0 very early here in the first half. Just the 14th minute to get that second goal. A big cross here going off the head of Aaron Long, who was substituted in again for the injured Olex Anderson, who had to come up with a third goal.
Merely minutes after the substitution, he gets on the
magic.
board.
Touches galore, a bicycle kick, a second bicycle kick.
A bicycle kick into a bicycle kick. Now, we learned this a minute ago. The reason this happened, it's bike night here at Starfire Stadium, so now this makes perfect sense.
They heard it was bicycle night. They set it up for the big win like that.
That Pablo Rossi, he's quite the entertainer.
Now, if you're the coach and you see that happen, John, are you like, come on, guys, settle and play, or do you like to see some fun like that on the pitch?
Well, I mean, if you're up 3 goals, I think that's okay. If it was a tighter contest, maybe a little less razzle-dazzle, maybe a little bit more. But that said, I mean, there wasn't much there anyway to have. It's not like he left anything on the field. It was, well, hey, we're there, let's try it. And hey, man, why not?
So, payback. So far, as long as nothing wonky happens in the second half here, payback so far has been dealt. A 3-0 deficit is going to be tough for Arizona United SC to claw their way back from.
And 3 goals is a lot of goals. So, if you can get to the 60th, I would say, up to 3 goals, you're feeling pretty confident at that point. You should be able to see this thing out, maybe give up 1. You hopefully give up none. I mean, 3 straight shutouts. Let's get 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
So when you see the payback that's happening so far, it's got to be real tough on a team like Arizona on the road, having to come back. They do not score goals, unfortunately. So to give up 1 to start with is a mountain to climb. To give up 3, they're going to have to really throw everything they have at it and hope that there's some defensive mistakes, maybe some lack of focus. Now, we saw that in the last matchup, too, that there was a tough time by S2 to be able to focus. It was 105 degrees outside.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this match is chippy as the first one, really. I mean, things got a little squirrely in the midfield. There's already been 2 yellow cards out to AZ United. We've lost a player from injury after getting, kind of clipped in the back. So, I mean, the bad blood is there already, and that's scary in this kind of situation because 3-0 lead, it should be an easy see it out the second half, but now you're factoring emotion. And who knows what could happen. I mean, another bad yellow card or worse, S2 could go down a player and everything changes.
The one thing that Arizona United have is a bunch of more experience on the field tonight, on the pitch tonight. We have a lot of the younger players that we're trying to develop into Sounders' main first-team players. That's the opposite because for Arizona, there's FC Tucson and Arizona United. There's only a couple teams that are even in the Arizona system, and they have a development opportunity with FC Dallas, but it's not the same way it works here. Players are put out on loan to this team, whereas here, a guy can play last night and come watch the game tonight. Ziggy Smith is here
or a
watching
coach could do that. Yeah,
right, exactly. He's here in the audience watching, which is great.
Yeah, and on a night when the coach is in the building, what a great first half.
Now, you asked me a minute ago about when the first team coach is here and you're being watched by him, you're being scouted by him perhaps a little bit. Who do you think really turned on the Jets and maybe could make the coach take a second thought about it?
Well, you'd certainly say previous to the injury, and you hope he's okay. We don't know anything how bad it was. It's Anderson. I mean, S2 sure seems to breed scores because it's gone from you start with Craven and he goes away, and then you have to bring in Jones, and Darwin Jones gets called up, and now you're still looking for that, and you get the next piece, and you go, okay, is it Mansoure? Is it Anderson? Anderson steps in, 15 minutes of action, 2 goals in front of the coach. That looks good. But I would say, I'm almost most impressed so far with Sanyang. He has just dominated the midfield. You can't get past him.
I'm impressed by the blonde woman that just walked by. I think she really did a great job. I think the coach will be calling her up for the next
Well, I don't think waving at us while we're trying to do a broadcast is appropriate, but hey, whatever.
They're playing bicycle in the background. I can't get enough of that bicycle kick opportunity. Such a rad thing to see. I don't know if we'll ever see something like that again.
No, it was an amazing, great first half with a little razzle-dazzle, little flash mixed in there as well. So great first half. Second half, curious to see how this goes. I think, if you're S2, look, man, you kind of just go, all right, be boring, just keep it.
Just pull a Mourinho, just park the bus at the back.
And no one likes that, but it's the smart strategy, especially considering, AZ's going to have to go for it. They have to. They have no choice. They're going to have to go for it. So if I think I would hate to see them park the bus. I'd like to see them just play for the counter.
So now, John, we talked about this a little bit, but we're just kind of a couple knuckleheads here locally that do radio at 107.7 The End, and it's an awesome opportunity. All of the announcers for this season of S2 performances are all people from the community who submitted to be this job. That's great. They have a couple great guys down in Arizona that are fantastic that do the job down there as well. And here we get an opportunity to do this, but we're not just hometown guys that love the Sounders organization. We've spent some time in Arizona, and we've had a chance to build a little rivalry of our own. You, living outside of Scottsdale forever.
I was getting a kick out of watching the last game on YouTube with the AZ announcers, having them do the shout-outs to DeFalco's. I worked there. That's the official food sponsor of AZ United. I used to make sandwiches there, so it's kind of neat to broadcast this game, considering very familiar, not so much with the team, but again, Scottsdale Stadium. I lived on Miller and Thomas, or Thomas and Osborne. Miller and Osborne, which is like the corner.
He's making this up as we speak.
You know what I'm talking. If you're there and listening, you know where I'm talking. I'm in that area-ish.
But at the same time, I spent 10 years living. 10 years living down in Tucson, and so Tucson FC, or FC Tucson, is a thing that I find is a great opportunity as well. We're actually sort of developing our own Portland-Seattle thing, and hopefully the MLS will pick up on that, and you'll see some rivalry, and you'll see an opportunity to build some other interesting matchups that are just down a highway from each other.
I'm trying to figure out why Arizona can't quite, why they haven't gotten their MLS teams yet, because it seems to me with such a great
240 degrees there all season long.
Well, that seems more like a Tucson problem than a Phoenix problem, because you have the University of Phoenix Stadium. You have an indoor stadium. So
sure. And after you've seen the type of success that they've had with the NFL there, where you have teams that play.
Greg, even the NFL success, I've seen the United States team play Mexico in that stadium, and it was amazing.
It's a packed house.
80,000 people.
When I look at it, and it's something like we see with the Seahawks and then the Sounders, I think that you have the ability to do that, to get some more rivalries throughout that, and it's great to see a team like this. Unfortunately, struggling tonight, but with the type of excitement and the type of enthusiasm. I give them a hard time in Arizona because they do like a million different advertisements every 5 seconds or whatever, but that's because they're successful. They're developing something that's great, and so it's a great story to watch. Even when they're having a hard time now, they're going to be able to hopefully turn that into a first opportunity franchise, and maybe then you have an FC Tucson that's kind of your USL team at some point.
Sure, and and again, it just seems like a great atmosphere and a great place that would do really well with a professional team, and MLS is going to grow with rivalries, not necessarily just big teams in big cities, and I know LA is getting a second team, and New York's got a second team.
That's a tough handball call there on Aaron Long, who came in here at the second half and started things off with a whistle.
Yeah, 45 minutes to go. Let's see this thing through.
Yeah, but there are a bunch of other teams, second teams, that are developing now, and you're going to start seeing a lot of opportunities. It's been so fun to watch S2 beat up on T2 this year. Who never thought that the Sounders would beat the Terminators? I never thought that was possible, but it's a thing that's happened.
Well, and it's so neat to have that rivalry, because it's so special. It's one of those things where I don't know if that's as recognizable across the nation as it is. I don't know if it gets as much press as it should. Is that it's one of the better rivalries, not just in MLS but in all of sports. I mean, that is a great. There's been documentaries done on it. There is. It's just something special about it. Except when they play here for the U.S. Open Cup.
That'll be something. But that's such a great storyline. We'll never forget that. We'll never forget the actions of that night and what happened in a crazy knockout. Also, Clint Dempsey will never forget because he'll never get a chance to play again in the U.S. Open Cup, it seems like.
Well, and it adds to the mystique and to the legend of, I was saying earlier about Roger Levesque getting his, I want his kit. He's as famous.
Did you say his kid?
His kit.
Oh, I don't think his kid is up for purchase in the team shop.
Well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean,
you gotta put that dad bod to use.
The thing is, with it is, he's a legend not just because he's arguably one of the first great Sounders. It's because of his early goal against Portland. Such a big deal.
Such a big deal to be able to do that.
And the celebration. I mean, it's a legendary thing. It's one of the first things I learned when I moved to Seattle about, like, okay, tell me about the Sounders. Like, what's the story? That's the first thing you hear is, like, it's all about Roger Levesque.
So big changes here. We'll get to that in a second for the Arizona team who's trying to get a goal here, but they're still not stopping the attack from the Seattle Sounders FC2. I'm confusing my teams here. There's a big cross here to start it off out from the left side. Kovar's just been dynamite today, a homegrown player who's been showing us what he can do. Jogging all the way over to the other side of the field here to try and put that big left boot on and hook something around. We saw it work in the first half off of the head of Aaron Long there, the third goal to put them up 3-0.
And all of these set pieces have been fairly dangerous. So let's see if they can't put one in the back of the net here. Really send a message and salt this thing away 2 minutes in. Don't even give them a chance to, possibly get back into the game. Just end it right now.
We'll reset things here with Carl Wazinski, a tough name to say because it's all vowels.
A lot of Z's in there.
Did you say Aziz? A lot of Ansari in there.
3-0 second half, 3 minutes in. S2 looking really, really good.
A bunch of changes, though. It looks like we had a Jonathan Topp and George Malky come off the pitch here to start the second half. Also, Dennis Chin. So you have 3 guys up top that are leading, and 2 of them have come off the field here, and one midfielder. It's an interesting change that they've used all 3 of their subs now. If anything were to go wrong, they would be without the opportunity to sub anyone in.
Sure.
Great steal there from Kovar, who reads the play beautifully. Rossi with a big boot through the middle. Oh, he just can't get there in time. Duncan McCormick sort of switched off a little bit there. You'd like to see him take just one more step and see if he can't get a sliding foot on it or something like that.
Yeah, it almost seemed he'd maybe decided that he wasn't getting there maybe a little too soon. But again, there was so many opportunities. Rossi had 3 opportunities there. He had 3 channels, 3 places to pass the ball. He couldn't quite get the right one in, which is a shame.
My mistake, that's you get 5 subs in the USL here. My bad. I'm thinking by MLS rules, so there's still 2 subs available for the Arizona United SC. Okay, so restarting here from the right side, it looks like that's Frano going to have a throw here to get things going down the side. Duncan McCormick, who's been running all day until the last play here, tried to connect with it, kicked out of bounds by Arizona United.
Yeah, it's funny that we're saying, like, I wish he'd have tried a little bit harder for that last one. He just spent the last 45 minutes running his tail off, and we're still greedy going, come on.
What a turn by Sergio, who just tries to take a big old chip at it, because when you make a sweet turn like that on the dime, you might as well have a hit.
Why not?
3-0.
And, that's kind of S2's calling card anyway as well. It's like very aggressive up front, which is, hey, it pays off. It pays dividends. We're the leading scoring team, one of the leading scoring teams in the USL. And their offensive mentality, that's exactly what you want out of it.
Throw in here for Arizona United SC. Exciting stuff here out at Starfire Stadium. The 51st minute of a USL rematch, you'd say. First one at home there down in Arizona for Arizona United. Went their way 2-1, but the power of the fortress here at Starfire Stadium is really tough for teams to overcome. 7-1 right now
7-1
is the home team when playing at Starfire Stadium. And another great read. Kovar has just been dynamite. You love to see Ziggy Schmidt watching a guy like that just hustle and hustle and hustle and get a bunch of good touches. O'Neal Fisher trying to run it down here on the left side. Isn't able to do it. Oh, he steps through Valentine.
Good
there,
overlap,
keeps
too.
going.
It's a good overlap.
He has to recover really quickly. Kovar has a chance to take a hit through the middle. Man, there couldn't get his foot on it. Sergio just can't get it done. Wazinski is able to cover it up and keep moving in that Bumblebee jersey he's got on today.
Man.
He should transform into a GM product.
That should be 4. But great creativity there by Kovar to get it, instead of just having a whack at it, play it through, and to have that ball. It's a shame to have that ball sitting at the mouth of the goal for that long without somebody being able to get a foot on it. It's like Tan picked up a bit of a knock here.
Hate to see that, the leading scorer for Arizona United. God, just another bad pass, unfortunately. Easily read again by the guy who has some sort of special eye vision. He can see the future.
I see 2 passes ahead.
He's been hanging out with my cat, Peanut. Shout out to Peanut.
Your cat can see the future?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. He gives you this look where it's like...
It's too bad it can't talk and tell you what's about to happen. It just has to look at you going, something's about to happen.
Yeah, then he just takes off running. It's crazy. Yeah, it's really a curse when you have a cat that can see the future and you're not able to do anything with that information.
It's even worse if you had all that, plus you were like me and allergic to cats.
I am also allergic and I take a bunch of allergy medicine. The day that Peanut packs his things and moves out, that's when I'll know that the future does not look good for me.
At least you'll be able to breathe, though.
Oh, some 1-on-4 there in the box for Arizona United does not end well, unfortunately.
No, and I think that's what you're going to look at. You're going to see a lot of in the second half is, again, counterattacks. Nice move.
There's a big tug from ScoMo there on the jersey of Aaron Long. Advantage played by the referee. Valentino collects things up. Drops back to Joey Dillon. Dillon to Carl Wazinski. Yeah, I did it right, I think. I should look at the pronunciation guide. Poor Long Tan, man. He's the leading scorer for the team. He's down here at the front. Looks like Damian Lowe has called on the trainer for him.
Yeah. Got to be a cramp. Yep, there you go.
You want to see that it's just a cramp and nothing more significant. Those hurt, especially in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. when your leg cramps up. That's got to be the worst.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any injury worse than the leg cramp? Brutal.
Just a little down moment here for everyone to catch their breath, get a bit of water. One of the features of summertime soccer is that you need that time built in.
Follow at USL on Twitter to become a league insider, join club conversations, and have a chance at exclusive giveaways. Make sure you hashtag #OwnThe2 to show your support for S2. S2 owns the 2. You know who else does? Is our radio station.
Oh, the 2-minute promise.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It means never more than 2 minutes of commercials at a time, John.
Very nice.
I love this cross promotion.
Boss,
you know who's going to be stoked?
That.
Yeah, your boss.
He's going to be really
Shout outs to Dave.
What's up?
Yeah.
Not going to say it.
Yeah, even hold back on that. Got a little stoppage in play here. It looks like Long Tan has gotten back up. It looks like he's going to be okay. Just some cramping. Still nothing you want to get back up and start running on right away.
Yeah, but sometimes that's the only way to get it out, You got to get back on it and just kind of work it through.
Love the Sounder train driving by in the background. Could use a honk from the Sounder train. Don't get one, though. Evidently, they're not streaming on YouTube right now.
They're not owning the 2 at all.
God, own the 2 train. Here's another opportunity where they're caught in transition.
Oh, good idea.
Rossi holds it up here. A quick pass out wide to Kovar. Takes his time, finds Aaron Long in the middle. A touch. Oh, a nice sneaky little move around the defender.
I like the patience here. You're up 3 goals. You're having fun, but you're not getting out of your own style. You're still playing the way you want to play. You're making the right passes. We're joking. Just have it. Just take a rip. Well, yeah, if there's nothing available, go ahead. But if it's a scenario like that where you start to bring people into the box, then they'll take a second, pause, see what's around, and then try to make something happen.
Well, and the thing that you want to find out by that is that the focus is still there. They're still doing what they need to. I think on the far side of the field, I can see Alex Anderson on crutches coming back on to support the team for the second half. It's never something you want to see a player on crutches. I can't confirm that. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, no, you're right.
He's in his trainers.
He's got a boot on.
It looks like he's doing okay. He's still putting some weight on it, but you want to see that guy who just put a brace and be able to do something with it.
Well, Greg, you got to say if they're not leaving to the hospital, you're not saying that he's okay, but you're saying it's
I'd rather see him on the sideline, able to come and watch the rest of it, because at least you have some optimism.
Yeah, because if it's something that was like a disaster, he's not here anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And on first look, before seeing the replay and seeing the ankle roll, it looked like it could have been something pretty serious. So
hate to see the boot, but at the same time, glad to see him back out able to support.
I feel bad for the guy who can't get his hat trick. I mean, his position got a hat trick because Long came in for him. So it's like a hat trick-ish,
Yeah.
I guess you would say.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? There's some sort of math term for that.
It's like a team hat trick.
Transitive property or something?
Yeah, team hat trick.
Well, you get the team shutout in baseball.
Yeah, right.
5 pitchers allowed, no hits. No hitter, I should say.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Here we are with a free kick over the ball. Granger taking a big boot across the field. Nick Miele got his hands all over Long Tan. Number 10, Chiva is one of the substitutes that came in here for Jonathan Top. He's trying to get some fresh legs, try and make the Sounders defenders work a little harder.
You know,
fortunately, we haven't seen him go a lot. The defenders haven't had to do a whole lot, so fresh legs might not even get it done.
Yeah, I mean, again.
Oh, O'Neal Fisher with some tricky footwork and those fancy boots coming across field on his own there. He's got to switch it up.
Why not? You know, a thing that's been really great this first half, too, and part of the reason why S2 is up 3-0 is most of the time when Tan's touched the ball, he's had his back to the net. And that's what you want. If you have a dangerous striker up top, make it so he can't even face the goal. Nice give and go.
Sergio with a chance here. You got to. Oh, he dumps it off here. He doesn't just go for the glory. Rossi, on the other hand, does, and he puts it in. It looks like there was a small reflection, but we have a fourth Seattle Sounders FC2 goal. S2 goes up 4-0 in the 58th minute, courtesy of Mr. Pablo Rossi.
Pablito.
We'll now hear Hugo, the stadium announcer, yell, Pablito!
I mean, I told you he was getting one.
Absolutely.
There was no denying him today. He's going.
Again, the stat looks like it's going to increase here. 5-1 when Rossi scores.
Which is why it's such a big goal for S2. I mean, 3-0, you feel good, but you don't feel totally safe.
S2 goal scored by number 55, Pablito! Oh, yeah!
Shout out to Hugo, the stadium announcer, who really brings a lot to this environment here. When we're out here watching, you know you got guys. He's a big ECS supporter himself, and he's in there doing it. That's an opportunity for a guy that does it on his own to come in and support the team in his own way. And it's great to see other communities that are like that. He's part of another community called the Sonar Feed. Those guys are doing this podcast, the Sonar Cast, all the time, talking about Sounder stuff specifically, drinking beers and talking about it. It's the perfect thing to be able to do. It's a podcast you definitely want to check out. Shout outs to all those guys that violated the whole
it's
gang.
so cool how soccer's really taken foot here. I mean, it's, again, you talk about communities. I mean, there's ECS, there's, Gorilla FC. I mean, there's multiple supporter groups. There's, again, there's podcasts about soccer. We get to come out from the radio station and clown around for a couple matches. I mean, it's amazing. It's great.
The support in the community is so huge, and it's such a great soccer city.
Look, furthermore, you have the coach of the Sounders sitting in front of us watching an S2 match. I think that's incredible. Like, that's cool. He's not like in a box or just watching. I mean, how easy is it? He can just watch film.
He's got his own seat here.
Right,
as a
but
matter of
you
fact.
know what I'm saying? Like, you can just sit. He can get the tapes.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Or he can, he can call Coach Ezra and be like, hey.
Well, specifically since the first team was traveling yesterday to Chicago, picked up a loss. The last thing I want to do is fly home and the next day have to go continue scouting. But it's a smart move for somebody who wants to win and check out who the next generation of guys are. I love seeing Kovar playing this half right in front of us as well, because it's a great look at his footwork and his abilities. Valentino with a bit of a hand there, a bit of a shove on Rossi. Rossi having a little word with him there, but it's okay. He's fresh off a goal. He's still riding that high. Now is when you want to see us two really keep the composure, keep the focus. You've got a big lead. Play it out professionally and show them what you got.
Sure. I mean, let's see some more goals. Why not, right? I don't think you need them, but
more importantly, let's keep goals out of the back of our own net.
That's what I was about to say.
Give Tyler Miller a clean sheet for his first time here. Kovar, he's deserved one all day. The big hit. Wazinski is big enough to do it. He gets down low, gets out wide, and is able to clear it. A clap of the hands by Kovar as he had a big shot. You know he wants that one back to have a little bit bigger.
Incredibly dangerous, and again, what a great
service is incredible from Sergio.
Now, and also to be fair, a ball has no business going clear across the field without somebody getting a foot on it.
All right, so we're looking at here a substitution for Sounders S2 coming on. Of course, I've lost all my notes, so I'm impossibly unprepared.
Greg, it's Ramos.
Oh, nicely done. He's on it.
Yeah, buddy.
I'll let Hugo tell me here in the background.
It's number 52, Lorenzo Ramos.
So you say goodnight to Amadou Sanyong, the captain, who's just been beat up over and over tonight. So he takes a seat, and Lorenzo Ramos makes his appearance here for the team.
You could argue that was a penalty right there, but I think with the 4-0 lead, the ref is going to show a little bit more leeway, especially inside of the box.
Each call should be individually handled, but they're humans too.
I would say you'd like to think that, but
Kovar here on the other side with his hand up. He wants a hit at that goal on the near side.
Greg, let me ask you a question about this.
Go ahead, ask me a question.
Wow, he's so good with the ball.
Look at that cross. Oh, and Kovar just can't get. I think the team wants Kovar to get a goal
Yeah,
too.
I think so too.
I rolled out here. It's going to be a goal kick here for Wazinski.
I would say there's three kinds of officials for soccer. You have the one that plays the rules by the lay of the land, like the law of the rule, like no matter what, doesn't matter if it's 10-0 or whatever.
Yeah.
And they go, that's
that
a
was
foul.
That's a foul.
You have other refs that are kind of game managers. Let's things go as much as they can till they have to make a call. And then you just have, the occasional bad official.
Is that the third category?
That's the third category, just bad. What's your preference?
I love it when a team is allowed to play a little bit. I like when there's a foul that maybe you're not so sure about, but on both sides, it's allowed to play out. You can play a little tougher as long.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm more of a, I understand it, but I'm much more a fan of letting them, it's discretion. I mean,
Here we
I don't
go.
need every rule.
In the 63rd minute, we have another substitution for Sounders S2. We have leaving the field. It looks like
I think O'Neill
Fisher's coming off the field, and it's Ashani Fairclough that's coming on, a Jamaican. He was traded mid-season from the Wilmington Hammerheads for Caduce Lawal. Caduce Lawal was lost from the S2 and sent to the East Coast and brought in this guy here for a shot at. He's adjusting now to the S2 team. He's only been here for like a month or something.
Yeah, and I know that the Jamaican national team is very high on him.
This is his actually second run here at in Seattle. The first time he was with the first team, the Seattle Sounders FC proper, and they just didn't have a spot for him.
Sure.
And you don't want to put him in the academy. You wanted the guy to get some experience and get some play. So he went to Wilmington. He's actually back now. He would have never had to leave if the USL was something that was going on last year. So it's an opportunity for him to get some minutes and develop. And it's a great chance here in front of the first team coach to get that done.
Yeah, which is even more significant for a player who has seen first team action.
Oh, some Ramos already part of a scuffle there in the midfield.
Well, I mean, if you're sitting on the bench watching this happen, you get called up. I
want a piece of that. That's going to be a call there on the outside of the box, though. It looks like a yellow card because he was one of the last men back. Hold him down here outside the box.
Did he point to the spot?
No, it was outside of the bar. It had to be. Let's look at the replay, though.
I mean, you can't get. It's tough. Whoa, hey now. Oh, I think they gave the card for simulation.
Oh. An offside call was actually being held. You can see the assistant referee there.
That's right.
Sitting there, so it was an offside call. Okay. Oh, I would have accepted simulation there.
Well, much ado about nothing then.
You'd hate to see Fairclough have his first contribution
on
beat.
that.
Yeah.
In the 65th minute, S2 player number 31, Damian Lowe.
Unfortunately, it looks like we have Daniel Antunes that's down here for a minute, taking one knee for Arizona United SC.
And I just heard they announced that Lowe picked up a yellow card, so not sure what that's all about.
We're hearing that could have been a missed call. We're waiting to find out more information.
I mean, it's got to be Fairclough if there's anybody, right? I mean, he was on the ball, so yeah.
A missed call there for number 77, Fairclough, who just came off.
I still don't think that's a good call, though. I don't think he touched him.
That's tough. It's hard to be so far away as a referee and not have the assistant on your side of the field and have to call it out like that.
Well, the nice thing, Greg, is I have a microphone, so I can do whatever I want.
Substitution here. It looks like Antunes is going to have to come out.
Happening first. No yellow card was issued.
There you go. No yellow card has been issued, so they're taking that back, which is great news.
Faircloth owes me one.
Coming on in place of number 5, Daniel Antunes, looks like Damian Rosales. If you believe the referees board.
Well, I didn't believe his yellow card, so I'm skeptical, I guess.
It's very punk rock of you, John.
Thank you.
Great hustle by Aaron Long, who's made such a great contribution today. Passing it back. Tyler Miller getting a touch. He'd forgotten what a football felt like there, but...
Shoutouts to the Big Fish Pub, by the way. Saw a lot of punk rock shows there. I don't even think that's existing anymore, which is a shame. But boy, that was a great
Club Rio? Oh, man, that's going to be a foul there on Pablo Rossi. You hate to see a yellow card come out for something like that, but that was
I don't think
a collision in the box. It looks like everyone's keeping a cool head. Wazinski's maybe trying to...
I think he's tired. I think he is worn out.
Yeah, and we got to get his medical history and see. Maybe narcoleptic?
Quite possibly.
They're calling out for the trainer. We shouldn't make light of that.
Yes, and now I'm going to feel terrible. He's legitimately hurt and we've been making fun of him. Let's take a look and see how bad of a contact this was. Oh, looks like he might have taken a shoulder to the face. So,
okay, my bad.
Apologies.
I resend.
Yeah.
You hate to see a guy down like that. The crowd not showing much sympathy today.
Bloodthirsty from all ends from the beginning to the end of this match for sure.
67th minute here is where we see this injury. You want to see Wazinski get back up here and be all right. They're down 4-0, so you got to have a little sympathy here that he just needs a minute to recharge his battery. He might have even just taken a little, knocked the wind out of you a little bit there.
Sure. Okay, let's take a back look at the replay of the offsides where there was a card and there wasn't a card. And
yeah, here we go. So here's the play off of a touch from way back behind.
Ooh, that's a tight offsides.
Who knows when it was kicked, though? It's not quite clear enough.
I mean, honestly, good job taking that yellow card back because you gave a card for simulation there. He wasn't touched. Right here, watch. He goes right past him, and there's no contact. He reaches, but he misses.
Yeah, you have to feel bad for.
I don't feel bad for anyone.
No, you have to feel bad for Wazinski getting up right now and feeling all right. The ref there made a mistake on the call there, unfortunately. But at the same time, offside negates it. Who knows?
Props to him for correcting it, though. That was smart. That's a good job.
Looks like after a bit of a shoulder to the jaw there, Pablo Rossi's been booked for that.
You know, the fans are upset about it, but on replay, I will say he did pluck him pretty good.
Right there, Vickers could easily get a call on that, unfortunately.
You know, look now, here we go again. It's starting to get a little bit testy between these two teams.
It's got to be really tough for Cameron Vickers to come on here in the second half and get his chance to play. He's from Auburn, Washington.
Oh, cool.
And so he's here from Arizona, and he's trying to get himself an opportunity in the first team, but he's at home. Maybe he's got some family here that have a chance to go see him, and it's this type of 4-0.
Well, but I think if you're his family from Auburn, this is the perfect situation. You get to see your kid play. He maybe does well, but at the same time, home team wins. Boy, another great cross.
This is really interesting. Leaving the game here for Seattle Sounders, it looks like we're going to have Duncan McCormick head to the sideline, and we're going to see the introduction of Nathaniel Tongavula.
Good luck saying that name the rest of the way, Greg.
I know. I'm going to just hold his card here in my hand with his name on it to make sure I get it right.
Maybe just call him Tongo?
Tongavula. He's got the orange boots and the big hair. He's ready to go. Duncan McCormick taking his time. He's had a real chippy afternoon again, but was able to leave the match.
You know what?
It's
smart to get him out.
Yeah, exactly. He and Granger over on the other side have had a hard time going back and forth.
Because this is where things, again, you go into the scenario where things are getting a little bit testy, and, you know, clearly he's had a problem. He's red carded off the last match. Get him out. There's no reason to lose a player to a suspension up 4 goals with 20 minutes to play.
Oh, look at the hustle. The work rate still going in from Rossi. He wants another.
We've done a great job of pressing that back line and making them make fast decisions. And they could, up to this point, they have not been able to do it.
Oh, a shot off of the back of Rob Valentino goes out to Kovar here. He's still got another opportunity to have a touch and maybe send this sucker in. There it is, off the head of a defender and cleared.
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe cleared.
Dancing too long on the ball. You'll always get a mouthful from your center back when you do that type of dance there.
Get it out of there. Well, this really couldn't have gone any better. We've up 4 goals. You've seen some great performances individually. And now you have a chance to bring in some of the younger players and give them some good run.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see some of the guys come from the bench and be able to play. When you field that many guys and you have an opportunity to have a lead, you get to really let them open up and do what they to prove what they can do.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't mind if Tyler Miller was forced into a pretty tough save one of these, just to give him one. Give him a tough play. His first game out with no pressure. Now's the time to make him, test him a little bit.
On the far side of the field, a little change there. We got some fresh legs up from Vickers attacking. A clearance from Miele, no problem. Kovar still looks crisp, running down the left side, across into the box, and Sergio's just not there in time for it, unfortunately. Just so close to the fractions of the whistle blown there. Valentino not happy that the ball was kicked away by Aaron Long.
Probably not happy that they're down 4 goals either.
That could be a contributing factor.
Man, there's nothing worse playing sports and having, you're tired and you're worn out and you're just getting creamed. And you look up at the clock and you're like, I still got 15 minutes. Oh.
One of the greatest things, though, is to see a guy who's still running and still working hard despite that.
You have to. That's you're a professional athlete and that's what you're expected to do, And again, with these guys, everything you do is on film. Even if you're down 4 goals, you're still being filmed. They're still, Siggy's still here. He's still looking, And
they've got our dumb voices all over the top of it.
Yeah, well. We're no Ross Fletcher, that is for sure.
Shout outs to Ross Fletcher. Change of field over here. Giuliano Frano now on the left-hand side of the pitch. Oh, he makes a mistake, gives the ball away. Vickers with an opportunity to make some highlight reel here against his hometown club.
I thought that was real kind of him to let that happen.
Yeah, it was a real nice approach there. That actually rolled out to be a throw-in, it looks like, as opposed to something from the far line there. Fairclough is going to have a throw-in here for the Sounders S2.
Well, this is turning out to be the perfect day for soccer and the perfect game to complement the perfect day.
Hear the fans singing their Sounders till they die. Scarves up, Seattle. Nice little breeze blowing through, doesn't hurt.
It'll be great in a couple years when when AZ United has a dedicated and devoted fan base, and if they can get anywhere near what S2 can do, that's going to be so great for the league.
Now, AZ United here needs to get some points. They're losing here. This one is almost written off, but you need to find a way to score some points. You got to find a way to get into the playoffs. It's going to be tough for Coach Michael De La Russo to have 2 seasons in a row where you're just outside of the playoff contention.
A game like this hurts too because of goal differential.
Absolutely. They've given up so many this season. They're last in the league in terms of, or first in the league, I guess, in terms of giving up goals. And that's unfortunate to have another 4 just stacked right on top of it. Already seeing some Sounders supporters giving their full 75.
Hey, putting good to 75. You got your 4 goals.
For a Sunday afternoon, we got a Sounder S2 player down on the pitch.
That's Rossi. He got kicked.
Rossi got kicked, but it looks like a water break for some of the other guys. Some concern from the Sounders players walking over.
I think when he went to make the turn after his touch, he got clipped pretty good.
It's a chance for everyone to catch their breath a little bit, grab a little bit of water to stay hydrated out there. You saw some cramps already from Long Tan. You don't want to see that happen again with a lot of other players. You don't want to see Rossi hurt specifically because he's been such a great part of this team this season. But it is an opportunity for some of these guys to be able to catch their breath. He is not looking good. He's kicking his right leg down there.
Yeah, maybe if we can get one more, there's one more sub available, you might take it now. Just send him off. He's fine. Nothing more is going to happen, and we're not going to give up 4 goals in 15 minutes. Well, knock on wood, Greg.
Couple guys soaking up some of the shade over here and trying to cool down a bit. Playing on the left side with Giuliano Frano and Kovar, who are scheming together, hoping to get something done, while the rest of the team is looking on at what appears to be a significantly injured Pablo Rossi. They're bringing out the stretcher to get him off, too. That would be 2 S2 players that have had that happen today. He's not a happy camper.
Yeah, I mean, nothing worse than a bittersweet 4-0 victory if that's how the score shapes out. I mean, you want to walk out of here high-fiving and, you know, feeling really good about yourselves, but after, you know, if this is another bad injury, especially to Rossi, who has been such a big player for this team, that'd be brutal.
Both goalkeepers having to stay sharp here. It's been a great debut for Tyler Miller, the new signing Thursday for S2. Crowd applauds while Rossi's being carried off, and a substitution comes in here. In just the final minutes of the game today, we have Diego Silvas coming on in place of Pablito Rossi.
Number 54, Diego Silvas.
Said correctly by the stadium announcer, Silvas. Now, Diego Silvas, an academy player. He started a 1-1 draw versus Orange County Blues FC. Another chance to see some minutes here. We're in the 78th minute, so just a little bit of time remaining.
Yeah, unfortunate circumstances for the sub, but another great opportunity to give another youth player an opportunity to
get those legs running.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to play up top a little bit here, too. He's a midfielder by trade, but it looks like he'll get a chance to spread his legs here a little bit, turn on that engine and see what happens. You'd love to see Sergio try and get some more attempts on the ball here and maybe try and pick something up for all his effort today.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'd love to see Kovar get one. He's worked so hard on this left side.
We've called a lot of names today, which is interesting, which means there's a lot of guys really giving a hard time to Arizona United.
Well, I think that game, you know, it's clear that last game stuck in their crawl, and they came out with a purpose, and they said, you know, hey, you got the best of us the first time. Maybe they felt like maybe they gave it away, which you could certainly argue. And they came out with a purpose and said, not today.
Good thing that no one sitting in that chair was just hit as it comes spinning off the field. Arizona in a hustle to get the ball back on the field. Again, Tan immediately swarmed anytime he gets the ball. They're really doing a great job of sticking close to him and shutting him down.
I'd like to see that 79 minutes into a game, too. I mean, they're not done. They're still playing really good defensively. You can tell they want that shot.
Chiva just takes a big swing at it. Immediately gets after someone else for not making a run after a bit of a slice. Love to see that. He's still hustling, though, still trying to get something done.
Greg, 4 shutouts potentially in a row here. This is it's impressive.
Now, you'd love to see a team working so hard this late into it. That was actually one of your P's to the match, was that we needed the focus to be there. We needed for payback to happen for it to get done. And you'd like to see that from the members of S2.
Yeah, and at this point now, you just hope they can see it through and get that shutout.
How hard is it to stay switched on, though, for Arizona at the same time? Both teams are going to have a real tough time of it. It's not cool out there. It's real warm out. You're running hard. And, man, just getting a goal seems so far away for the team right now. It's got to be real frustrating. Foul called there on Chiva, who helps Fairclough off the pitch there with maybe a little word in his ear.
So with this victory, then we go top of the table. We'll tie for top of the table.
Still a game in hand there on the table as well. Into the crowd there with a nice deflection. Frano with a touch. Back inside to Long, who's had a great game and the 3rd goal today.
Yeah, he was nicked up early in the week, but he sure had a nice game too.
This is match number 18 for Seattle Sounders FC 2. With 3 points, we would be on par with LA Galaxy 2, who will have a game in hand. Switchbacks FC have only played 16 so far, and Sacramento Republic at 19 won ahead. So we're in 4th place now, but at the end of this, if the advantage stays, it'll be a top of the table form, but still some games in hand. So it's still focus for the rest of the season, which is rapidly wrapping up.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast everything, the soccer world moves. Because, I mean, you think about this season's, there's only a third left of this season. The Premier League starts in less than a month. I mean, that is insane.
They got 4.5 days off this year. It's great to have been watching the U.S. men's national team as well playing in the Gold Cup here. That's been great. Watching the U.S. women's national team bring home the World Cup.
Yeah, congratulations to
American soccer is in such a great place. There's right now there's just pockets where it's, Kovar, but just some moves. Pockets where it exists right now, out wide here. Silvas with an opportunity. Did I get that right? No, I was wrong. I'm
Let's
sorry.
say yes.
No. It was Silvas is over here with the sweet man bun.
Is there such thing as a sweet man bun, Greg?
I mean, you could almost get there.
No, I have the.
You can almost cut yourself with the Silvas.
Yeah, I can do like the ponytail thing.
I mean, that's kind of like, look.
No, he's got like the bun up there. That's good. That's quality.
He's got some length. You're almost there.
Yeah, I'm in the ballpark.
Fairclough is standing out wide. There's an opportunity there.
Greg, watching the U.S. men's team so far, it's kind of nice to see the fact that we've gotten to a level where we don't necessarily have to be great to win, where, 5-10 years ago, you had to,
You had to, every drop of potential had to be squeezed from the team.
Yeah, or like,
time.
like a Dempsey or a Donovan had to be fantastic, or else there is no way they're going to win. And now you can say, so far you haven't seen the best effort in the Gold Cup, and yet, up 2 games. 6 from 2 points, 6 from 2 games, which is exactly what you need.
The reigning champions of the Gold Cup, which is interesting too. Another win means that they'll move straight on into the next set of competitions, get a little bit of a chance in Europe and against some other big teams. Here's the opportunity coming in.
It's left for him. There you go.
Tongavula, Silvas, back to Silvas, out wide to Fairclough. You start to see some of the guys stepping a little slower, a little heavier legs now.
Yeah, it's going to be a long flight back to Arizona, that's for sure.
Long Tan just working his butt off to try and get something done. He can't get it done. Kovar gets the offside flag lifted against him. It looks like, there we are.
Yeah, I mean the change happened so quickly where he had yet to get back, and I mean the defender looks up and sees a green dot down the field wide open. Hey, you got to go for it.
Looking at a substitution on the far side here. I didn't see who came running on there. Scomo trying to get something done, unfortunately. Cannot connect there. It's a throw in on the far side for S2.
Greg, I gotta tell you, ever since I made that joke about living back in Arizona, and I wanted a DeFalco sandwich really bad, man.
You're giving them free plugs, dude.
I know.
Looks like they brought Long Tan off the pitch here. Give him a rest. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do much more today. Give him a break up top. Let someone else get some hustle in. An opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he never had a chance to get into this game whatsoever. And, hey, credit to S2's defense for that. It was a superior effort to neutralize him this entire match. Great job by the back.
Yeah, great focus and stopping a guy who scored so many goals and be able to just to keep him contained.
Yeah. I mean, the only time we even called his name was to say how good they were doing against him.
85th minute here at Starfire Sports Stadium, part of the Starfire Sports Complex here, where you see so many different fields that are utilized for all different types of competitions. You got a Seattle Cup going around. You got all these different teams for Seattle United playing, all these invitational teams from around the state, and seeing all the high quality that's there. It's incredible. If you've not been out to an S2 match yet, you got to get out before the season's over and check one out. The atmosphere is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's just a day like this is you just go, man, U.S. soccer is in some pretty good shape. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Get some of those neon boots.
Do broadcasters usually get boots?
I mean, I'm wearing mine. Is that weird?
I wish pants were part of the...
It's hot, Greg. It's hot.
Yeah.
And we're only filming from the waist up, so I mean... And it's Sunday. I mean, come on. What are you asking for me?
I'm wearing my Sunday finest. Good to see Tyler Miller here with an opportunity to touch the ball. Unfortunately for Arizona United SC, not a lot of opportunities for the ball to be played into any type of sweat for the...
Yeah, we should probably... I'm hoping he doesn't think that it's like this every match, because he will have to do some work, and he will have to earn that goalkeeper position if that continues to be to be his. I don't know if Lions stays up for as long as... I would assume he stays up for the first team as long as... Stephen Fry remains hurt.
Yeah, sure. You would hope to see that he keeps getting an opportunity.
Yeah.
Troy Perkins really stepped up big time, too. He had such a strong game, I felt like, yesterday. But it's nice to know that we have some depth and that we've seen it before.
Right.
That he's so accessible. You can get right to Tukwila and see it for yourself.
Yeah, and next home game is against Portland, so I would strongly encourage anyone that's interested in...
the next first team game is against Portland?
No, the next S2 game is here against Portland.
Oh, man. S2 has had T2's number this year.
Which is always a good thing.
It's fun for the rivalry, too, to see it start building between not just the first team, but also the USL teams.
Well, I mean, that filters through because that's the culture of the team. And I think, you go, here's who we like, here's who we don't like.
Yeah. You might have some individual matchups like a Granger versus a McCormick today where they just have some beef or whatever.
Well, and it's kind of cool, too, to see, again, this appears to be a rivalry. We got the best of this one, but they did and it's kind of cool to see, USL teams develop their own rivalries as well.
Tyler Miller's touched the ball more in the last 3 minutes than he has for the entire match. Nothing really to worry him at all. Brazilian Sergio here with a touch. Kovar, who's been dynamite all day, back to Frano. Frano going to come back and reset things with Nick Miele. Go Lobos. Every chance I get, shout out to New Mexico.
I see it.
Back to Carl Wazinski, and he'll pick it up and throw it out wide here. I'd like to give a big thanks to Bootstrapper Studios for today's broadcast. They've been dynamite, I'd say. Live streaming sports and events of all sizes. Visit them at bootstrapperstudios.com. Bootstrapperstudios.com.
Anyone that can put up with us for 90 minutes deserves.
Greg and the gang doing a great job. Thanks to Brian here for helping us out with the sound today. It's been a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun graphics and replays from a sweet team that's in the other room here. Everyone's doing a great job. Also,
shout out to Brandon, too.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon for being so awesome with the stats and keeping us informed on everything. It's been a real fun time. They got a real top-notch group out here to do these broadcasts and performances. It's great to be on the internet, too.
Yeah, it's not easy to make us look good, and they've done everything they could.
Every opportunity we've had to sound bad, they've tried to make better. And then make sure to listen to us on 107.7 The End. That's where you hear us doing our normal thing, which is talking about music and not fumbling.
Yeah, we're much better at that than doing play-by-play.
I hope.
McCready to Gossard. to Vetter. Cobain with a throw.
89th minute here. We should see an indication from the fourth official in just moments as the trains go by the Starfire Sports Stadium here in Tukwila, Washington. Things wrapping up here. So far, a dominant day for Seattle Sounders S2. So I get distracted every time play starts to happen there. That was, instead of a sliding tackle, that was a football NFL style tackle.
Yeah, and you also can't do that.
First we see karate.
We've seen a lot today. We've seen four
now American football.
Karate, tackling.
There's a little judo earlier.
Man buns.
Oh, man.
It's been quite a day.
As someone who doesn't know what a man bun is and you say man buns, that could get an interesting mental image.
Right.
We're waiting for the fourth official here to hold up the amount of stoppage time. Oh, the foul called against S2 there.
Tungavula
trying to get away with it, but unfortunately brought back here for a free kick. And here we are, the referee, fourth official, Kelsey Harms, has held up 4 minutes of stoppage time. I wonder if Kelsey Harms is any relation to former End DJ Andy Harms. Shout out to
Andy
Andy
Harms.
Harms. What's up, baby? We should start a rap group. That should be our
Right?
next thing. We're pretty...
Well, I think we've got this broadcasting thing down. We've got
Nailed
the
it.
DJing thing down.
That's not good to see a player down on the far side of the pitch. It looks like it could be
I think
Damian
he
Lowe.
took a bit of a pop to the face. Nothing too serious.
I can't see
but-
his number, but it looks like it's Damian Lowe on the far side. I see Fairclough is coming over to check him out, make sure everything's cool. The Sounders trainer is on. See him at both matches. You see him at the S2 matches and at the first team there. He's not the only one that is owning the two today. Hashtag
on the two. Yeah, real professional second half here by S2 as well to just see the match out. Keep, the nice part is this, the minute the second half started, you take, you put pressure on them right away just to let them know, like, hey, we're not just going to park the bus.
Yep.
You still have to be careful. You
You
can't
listening,
just send,
Jose Mourinho?
Yeah, right. You can't just send 9 guys up top. Real good job seeing it through, and we're almost home.
Damian Lowe here walking off the pitch. Looks like he's picked up a bit of a knock. He's not looking like he's feeling so great. Maybe a little water, maybe some magic spray to heal him up and get him back out there. If not, if his game is over today, we're already a minute and a half into stoppage time of 4, so he could see himself.
he's jumping back in.
Yeah, he's being weighed back on right now by the referee Farhad Dadko, who has done a pretty good job today of when he's not gotten it right, of making it right. And
No, this wasn't an easy match to officiate because there was a lot of kind of rough play early on, and he did a good job. The ref did a good job of keeping it under control without having to brandish his card too much. I think the cards that were issued were legit, and like you said, he did a really good job of kind of correcting his mistakes, especially with that yellow card a few minutes earlier. It's not often you see official pull the old "my bad,"
I would like to see what would have happened if the offside wasn't called. I don't know if we would have gotten that card back. I don't know if you can do that if that would be something that you can't give a free kick and then give a card and take the card back. The offside is probably the critical part of that.
Sure, right.
A 4-0 lead right now for Seattle Sounders S2 against Arizona United SC. Unfortunately, running out of time to try and get anything done here on a beautiful Sunday, almost evening now. Still a bunch of soccer going on in the background behind us on the other fields. It's been a great weekend for soccer in Seattle in general.
Yeah, too bad we couldn't have gotten that last win by Sounders last night, but
it'd be nice to be able to tie it all together, especially against the team. Chicago needed those points so bad, being bottom of the East.
Right.
East? Yeah, I think East. Another big matchup here for the Sounders to prove
probably cut them off again.
Here we are. It's no chance. Moda can have a hit. Oh, what a great save there from Wazinski. He's just been dynamite today on the chances that he's had. He's made himself big, and he's punched the ball out. Moda's still working it in the corner, just trying to wear down the time. He's got about 30 seconds left, maybe one more opportunity here to try and do something in front of goal. You'd love to see Kovar get something.
Yeah, why not put in a fifth? Nice run here, full speed ahead. It'd be a shame. It would have been great if he would have, you can't blame a guy for taking a rip there, but it would have been great if he could have flipped it across to Tungavulo because he's wide open on the back end.
Looks like we're going to have a corner here for S2. It'll probably be one of the final actions of this second half. We've already done a full 90 and stoppage time now.
Are we getting paid overtime?
We're not actually
Are we
getting paid
at all?
No,
Oh,
we
boy.
get paid in sandwiches if there's any left.
That's fair.
We got a sweet taco earlier. That was cool. Big kick doesn't quite get past the first man, sort of does, rolls out to another opportunity out here out wide for Kovar. Just kind of now holding the ball up.
Yeah, I mean, this is over now. Blow the whistle. We're done here.
Sergio, yeah, kicking it out. It looks any second now we should see the ref lift the whistle to his mouth. Valentino with the throw here to wrap things up. Controlled by Lowe, who's come back on, and one more boot down the other side, trying to change it up, and cleared by Fairclough. Right back to oncoming Arizona player Tongavula coming across field.
And they still want one. That's great.
We're now well into 4 minutes, now approaching 5 minutes of stoppage time. ECS screaming away, and the ref blows the whistle for full time here at Starfire Stadium, where the Seattle Sounders S2 have taken a 4-0 commanding, crushing defeat over the Arizona United SC. John, what do you think?
Hard to have anything negative to say about this match. I mean, you hope for the health of Rossi and Anderson, but boy, what a dominating performance
Just
by
simply
S2 today.
fantastic.
Just a great job all the way through from start to finish. I mean, 2 minutes in, up a goal, and then to not stop. That was the key to this game. They didn't stop. They kept on going, and 10 minutes later, after the first goal, we got another one.
Right.
And then you get the third, and then you
Keeps
come out
going.
the second half, and it's like, okay, it's 3-0. There's still something left to be done. There's a chance, and then Rossi puts one in the net, and that's a wrap.
A lot of good games here. You see the coach out there shaking hands, saying what's up to everybody. Lots of high fives and congratulations for everyone.
I'm still convinced that Coach Ezra can play.
Oh, I mean, certainly. He could get there and play some center back, I think.
Right? It's a great way to see, to wrap up a great weekend here in Seattle with a commanding performance by S2.
4 goals from the Seattle Sounders FC2 versus the 0 to Arizona United SC. The cards were distributed. There was some chippiness, but all in all, payback was done. They split the series 1 apiece. From Starfire Sports Stadium, I'm Gregor with my friend John Manley here saying have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time.
You got it. Adios.